Внимание! Ако гледате епизода преди 17 марта, имате възможност да се насладите на Family Dinner и Inner Pockets на съответните дати и места. Преди употреба прочетете листовката. Ladies and fucking gentlemen, welcome to Barlogika, episode 17. Today we have a special treat for you, the incredible session band Inner Pockets, featuring the talented Elias who's playing the keys and does back vocals, the main vocal Johnny who's also playing the guitar, Victor on the bass and Andy on the drums. These guys are not just outstanding musicians but also captivating performers. In this episode we're gonna dive into everything from how their project Family Dinner came to be to plenty of other fascinating behind the scenes stories, so my advice is sit back, relax and enjoy това подкастче.
Why inner pockets? Where is the inner pocket? Which inner pocket? Whose inner pocket?
Nah, before that, I think, how did you meet? Because to create inner pockets, you have to have met.
And pants also.
That's true.
Yes. Maybe.
So the pants were invented in 17.
So we went to uni together in Berlin. We studied music, all of us. But the first time we played together, I had to do a live video for one of my songs for like, I don't know, promotion and shit. And Elias always played with me. The boys were the homies, but I never played with them before. So I called them just for the video recording. And it was supposed to be just a one day of recording, but I was like, I might have to let some people go in my band.
Nice.
Because he did have a band.
I did have a band.
Yeah. Realistically, there's like 3 versions of the Johnny Cool band.
Oh, well, yeah.
Somewhat.
There's many generations.
R.I.P. them all, but
we are the final version. I'm not gonna name drop anybody.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't know. We don't know.
Hopefully the final version.
Oh.
Hey.
Don't jinx it.
See how it goes. We'll see.
Maybe
Still early in the tour.
Depends on how it goes. Yeah.
Anything can go wrong.
Yeah.
What was your biggest capacity as a group? Like, how many people at once have you been while you have been in the pockets?
I guess that was that recording as well.
that recording we had a few more people. We've had like 2 backing vocalists and like a couple of horn players once.
That's true.
So then it's like, okay, the 4 of us plus horn player plus 2 backing vocalists. Was Gabe on stage as well with us?
No,
okay, so 7.
Just in the live video.
7,
yeah.
That's
on
nice.
stage.
Yeah.
Not a big ass stage as well.
That
gig was.
Why do you hate yourself, guys? Like, isn't it difficult with so many people to play together?
It is a pain, but once you're there, you know, once you're on stage, it's a very good feeling, I think.
I think it all rolls off at one point.
But it has to be how to manage all of this, like all the instruments, all the testing, all of the sound testing has to be a nightmare, I think. No.
That kind of depends on, I guess, if whoever's doing the sounds job is good at their job. Like, at the end of the day, it's always going to be a certain amount of time that it's going to take to set everything up, and then plus 2 or 3 more people usually doesn't make it that much more complicated from a times perspective. But realistically, I think it's easier to play with a lot of people simply because you don't have to overcompensate for the lack of sounds. So let's say you can just know that, okay, I'm gonna hold it down or do whatever I'm supposed to be doing. I don't need to add anything fancy because there's already enough people to make a full image about it. And that particular gig actually was really good because we didn't even have a rehearsal with one of the trumpet guys. He just showed up.
Just came to the show.
We ran through the songs once in the backstage, like after sound check, even not even during sound check.
Nice.
And then he slayed it.
Back to my question: why inner pockets? And who should I ask? Johnny.
I have no clue.
I think actually, Johnny, you came up with it.
Okay. I can give you a smart answer just for fun.
Nah.
No? Just skip it. I can skip it.
What, didn't you say your viewers are very uneducated?
Yo,
man,
that's why we are here to educate them. You know?
I cut myself, but
Vladi said that.
let us stay in the final version, so I don't know why you're so rude, man. I don't know.
No, I mean, like, I think with what Victor said as well, like what we like to do as musicians, I like to think so. None of us really like to show off. We just like to play in the pocket, you know, as musicians say. Like, we just like to play our part. And that's it. And that's why it works out no matter who we get on or not. Like, we just like to play the music, you know. If my thing is to play 2 notes, I'll play in my pocket. I'll do my thing. You know what I mean? And because altogether that sounds to us so much more doper than everyone trying to flex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'd always, you know, the focus always was pocket, you know, be in the pocket.
Yeah, have your own pocket and
you know what I mean?
Mess with the others. Like, that's my job and I'll do my job.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get that the easiest thing to do is like be just okay at your field. Like for example, with Vic, because I know him the most out of you four, just know how to play the simple things on the bass, and that's like a lot of people I don't think get that as starting musicians.
Yeah.
And that's like really cool that you have gotten you got the luck of that.
Yeah.
You know how to do it.
Yeah. I think it's very much like, it's like a conversation. Imagine like us having this interview and this conversation with all of us trying to speak at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very much like passing the ball. And the same thing is, I guess, with playing music. There is a time where I'm going to be the one that's talking and all of the rest are either going to be listening or adding something that's only going to better what I'm saying, but not get in the way. And I feel like that's kind of the attitude that we share towards playing music with each other in particular.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, nobody tries to be a star or take the
I mean,
limelight.
I think there's times for everybody to be a star.
Everyone
It's
gets
just
their moments.
exactly everybody gets their moments. It's more like don't fight for it. Don't let your egos dictate why you're doing something, but more so, firstly, respect each other and appreciate each other. And then I think if you have that and you have this mindset of not overstepping musically on top of the other people's toes, it's just comes
fine.
natural at one point. Yeah.
So guys, how long have you been together, like a band?
Oh.
2.5 years. maybe?
2.5 years of playing together like
Yep.
this, but besides me, everyone else has another band called Alien Grace,
Yes.
and you've been playing together for like
Like
Seven,
5
No.
No.
Longer.
Longer?
6 years, something like that,
6
actually.
years,
Yeah.
years, yeah.
yeah.
You're loyal, you know. That's
Loyalty,
cool.
loyalty.
Yeah.
That's pretty rare.
Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty.
So guys, you play in Berlin. For the people who don't know, but you came to Sofia. Why? Why did you leave the really nice great city of Berlin?
This guy.
Man, honestly, I think. So, firstly, I'm gonna go from the bullshit answer, which is we all like Bulgaria.
Come
Sure,
on,
man,
that's
sure.
not bullshit.
I mean,
No,
yes,
it's not-
okay,
it's
it's
not
not
a
bullshit,
bullshit
but
answer.
it's not the
It's a
direct
real
answer. I think it's so it's a combination between us wanting to come here and kind of, I guess, have an excuse to make music and have a vacation at the same time, even though it's not necessarily a vacation. There's a lot of things going on. But the other side, which is, I guess, a little bit more egoistic from me personally, is that I would really love to establish some more solid foundations and connections that I could have in Bulgaria for like down the line when it comes with music. And I feel like I've been working with some Bulgarian artists and doing stuff in the scenes, but always either from a distance or very much on the low key.
Yep.
And this is kind of like, even though we've had gigs previously where we've come with Alien Grace, we've come with this other project called The Cavalry of this dude Lucas. Shout out Lucas.
Shout out Lucas.
Yeah, so basically I feel like this time in particular is the one time that I'm really trying to connect all of the contacts and all of the people that I know and inviting people to come to these events just so I can say, hey, this is what I've been doing for the last 7-8 years of my life, and this is why I've been gone, so that I can have like something to show for, which on one side, like I said, the egoistic part of me is because I want to show it off.
I'm the messiah, guys.
But
I've
from
come
the
back.
from the other side, it's
The
also kind
prodigal
of
son.
like,
Yeah.
I even forgot what I was gonna say. It's okay. What was I gonna say again?
I mean,
Yeah,
I can
save
jump
me.
in and just say that, like, I mean, we've been here twice before, and I feel like just from sort of a more Western European perspective, you always hear that, like, Bulgaria is one of the countries that's losing young people the fastest and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, but at the same time, like, we've had a really good time both times that we came here to play. We also came to play gigs, you know. And somehow it's also, now I think it's going to be interesting to collaborate with artists that are active here, you know.
Yes, that's actually a really good point that I completely forgot about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I was personally just curious about the scene at all in Sofia, because we played once before, but it wasn't. I don't think we didn't really get to like collaborate with the people that are already here.
It wasn't like a scene game.
You know, exactly. And like the family dinner thing, like, hate to use the word community. I'm going to use it more, but really it's about building community. And like for us, it was like getting the R&B scene to just get together, because in Berlin there were a lot of scenes, and I think there's a lot of people, but they were in some ways separate. And so things like family dinner, and there's a lot more. Shout out to all of them.
We have
Just
to say
like
what family dinner is, by the way. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
get
thi- I
to that,
don't
we'll
thi-
get
yeah,
to
we'll
We
get
got
to that.
yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
oh, true, my bad.
That's fine.
I
that's
mean,
fine, that's fine.
we're here for family dinner, right? But besides all the people that we also look up to, the big thing was bringing different artists together. And coming here, we get to collaborate with at least like 3 other Bulgarian artists that I have. You know, I met one for the first time today, and
Yes.
it was
Should we name
dope.
drop them?
For sure.
Yeah, man. Shout out Lina.
Yeah.
Shout out
Lina.
Shout out
Yeah.
Lina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sveti. We had a whole day of rehearsals for like right before we came here
Great.
for the set on Friday, and it sounded really nice.
And who else are we playing with?
We're also playing with Simu Zelaskov, also great vocalist, great, just songwriter, top liner, and artist.
Crazy singer.
Crazy singer, really. And I guess at this camp that we're gonna be doing later on, like in between the 2 dates, we're gonna get some producers from Bulgaria to also come and join the camp, just so we can exchange ideas, make some music together. It's kind of very much like a networking type of tour, I'd say.
Okay. Build connections.
Build connections, exactly,
And-
and obviously make some fucking bread out of it. Oh, damn!
In the mood, man. And by the camp you mean the house in Batak, right?
Batak.
Bro, Batak is such a great Bulgarian name for a village. I
Batak.
swear, man. I like really like the vocal of it, like Batak.
Yeah, it has a
No.
ring.
Does it mean anything?
I mean, it means like trouble.
Chaos, trouble.
Yeah.
like,
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't
Полен
know that?
Батак.
No,
Полен Батак.
Come man.
Тук е Полен Батак.
I didn't know that.
I Berlin changed you, you know.
Hey.
You forgot the Bulgarian, man.
Damn.
This is why we back. This is why we back.
You got me, bro. Fuck.
So, guys, the style
You got
you're in
called
is
out.
R&B, right? Or like Inner Pockets
Sure.
is playing R&B.
I'd say, I mean, the Inner Pockets in some ways obviously started as a session band for my music, and my music is very much R&B focused, little pop, little, I'd say gospel and whatnot. So the artists that played with us initially were also quite R&B, but I think like, firstly R&B is like pop now, I'd say. So you know what I mean? Like we've come from an era of like having to explain what's R&B, at least for me in Berlin, to like, you sit in an Uber, first thing is, R&B in the radio.
You get some
Yeah.
season on the radio.
But like, they play like, what genre do you all play in your band?
Well, like rock, prog.
Yeah, like prog
I think
rock, ethno prog rock. I
Yeah.
feel like is like
I always just call it like fusion rock
fusion rock.
because it's always
no.
like somehow like rock based, but you
Add elements
Other
to
elements.
it.
add
Yeah.
like certain elements of different genres to it.
Yeah.
And then like certain songs, I guess you couldn't categorize as that because then they're like more so straight up. Like we have some songs that are more like, let's say, like ballads or like like more like old school soul, or I don't know, more like atmospheric.
The only reason for
Yeah.
yapping about this is that we have very different musical journeys, and so we're not like R&B elitists, or you know what I mean, or any
Yeah.
like particular genre. Like
Yeah.
there's moments of dad rock, that's us. There's moments of
country.
straight up.
We've even played country.
Played-
Yeah,
yeah, we
we
So
as
because
the Inner Pockets, we had
I
a
guess
country set.
session music,
Okay.
like we really like session musicians at heart first. You know what I mean,
Yes.
like including myself and.
Yeah, we just love music.
So
it
it's
doesn't
just
matter the
like-
genre, really.
So it would be like a fusion R&B at the end, or what? With so many different styles.
It would be more whatever the artist needs, we go all into it with our own sound. So if the artist needs like a super Bulgarian folk sound, I might play my
Whip
R&B
out
9
the
chords,
Vladimir
but,
Soul.
like, I think it's really about the music. It's just like we're not even trying to like
Yeah.
force anything on it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
feel like
play the song. You know what I mean? Like whatever the song is, you're trying to like capture that feeling in that moment, and still try to add your own kind of like personal twist on it, and
Yeah,
your own like
100%.
signature.
Yeah.
I feel like R&B is like the perfect genre for just trying to fuse all of this talent into like one big flashy concert
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
per se.
Sure.
indeed. Although, like, I think realistically, if I had to put like some genres on what we've played, it's like R&B, soul, hip hop, some gospel moments, and
We've done like straight up pop.
we've done
for
straight
sure.
up pop,
Straight
yeah.
up pop.
We did a little bit of
A
Afrobeat.
little bit of Afrobeat.
Afrobeat, yeah.
We've done some country.
You've done everything.
And the list goes on.
Why are you gonna do metal or
Hell nah, bro.
D&B or
No.
techno, man?
That might be
Techno
where
rock.
we draw the line. I don't know.
That's
Actually,
where we draw the
we've
line.
done some like house music vibes, almost.
Yeah,
like
on this set, there's gonna be
Yeah.
a very
Yeah,
very like two
Yeah.
songs back to back that are really like
Okay.
housey.
And so we talk about that before the podcast, that your job is to like help artists who don't have access to band, to live music, to help them understand how their music will sound like played with live band, or have I understood correctly that?
I wouldn't say that was like the objective we started with.
Mhm.
We weren't trying to be the savior or anything like that.
The Messiah, you know, you gotta be the savior.
Yeah, but at the time that we started, and we really just wanted to highlight a lot of our friends. We just finished uni at that point, actually, and a lot of our friends also like not from Berlin, trying to figure out what we're doing. Most of them really didn't had never played with a band before, you know, because this like generation. I don't want to say it like that. I feel like a lot of people.
How old are you, man?
That's the other
This generation.
You can lie.
No, I'm
You forgot.
I'll be 26 this month, actually.
So what? You're from this generation?
No, for sure.
You're not millennial.
For sure.
That's the most
For sure.
You're not millennial.
Hold on. Let me. Okay, so I guess like this generation of R&B musicians. Let's say that. Let's say that.
Yeah. We'll edit that out.
And when I say, you know, like I feel like I don't feel like it's just facts. Like a lot of people just learn how to make music on TikTok and YouTube, and it's straight up on the laptop, and it's super dope. I actually fuck with this music. So heavy, like it's super nice. But I feel like a lot of them didn't really have the chance to hang out with other musicians that play instruments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I grew up in like Wonderwall era. Not like time-wise, but like let's say community-wise. I grew up, you know, the homies were playing AC/DC. You know what I mean?
That's great.
So even when like I got into R&B, it was still with a guitar. It was still with an instrument. And so I feel like there was a lot of artists who never really got to do that. And so we got to put them on a stage and like play with the band for the first time. There's a lot of artists that played with a band for the first time, and we were hoping that they would call us back, which a lot of times happened, sometimes didn't.
You know who you are.
You know, but yeah.
Yeah, in this time of like home studio musicians who only have their laptop. Yeah, that's really great opportunity because likewise I was producing music for a long time. And I was like this generation, which used only a PC and stems downloaded from somewhere from some Indian site. Very good stuff there. Fresh stuff for you. Great site. Great website. Yeah, shout out.
That's it.
And yeah, like I also wondered how would my music sound when some people played it on live instruments. And yeah, sadly I don't do that anymore, but otherwise I would have called you.
You know, there you go.
That's a compliment.
Maybe one day, man. Maybe one day.
You know?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Can we get into why are you actually here in Bulgaria? And that is actually family dinner. So what is family dinner?
You have
In
families?
particular.
Nice.
Yeah, we eat food too.
Some of us,
We have so much in common, man.
It's like we're all the same.
I mean,
I think so.
Very honestly, I think like I really wanted to be a session musician, right, for the longest time since I was a kid. Like I just wanted to play music with others, and there wasn't. I'm not gonna lie, I did uni and I released music, and that was slow and steady, doing well. But I didn't really get a chance to play music for others, like with others. You know what I mean? And so I feel like, you know, I set up shows where I have like an opening act, but I wanted to play still with them. You know what I mean? So like I had an opening act, but I was like, guys, let's just play because I want to be the session. You know what I mean? And like I just wanted to play more as a band, like for other musicians, and pretty much it. We just started inviting artists to play shows together. So initially it was very much like, in some ways, like Johnny Kulo plus an artist. You know what I mean? It was very much like
downright.
Yeah, almost like we had opening acts is what it kind of was to some extent. But at some point I was like, yo, this is so fun. Like we should just invite more artists and play like 2-3 artists in the same night.
Yeah, no more.
And like without getting too like mushy about it, I think I think food is like a really good way to get to know
people.
Scratch. Let me start again.
Okay.
I think like I'm from India, born and raised, but I I
that's
moved
why
to
the Indian website got so
yeah.
much attention. Great. Okay.
Yeah. No, but from like being from India and then being in Berlin, like there's so many people as well that's from everywhere, and you can I guess you like forget where you're from in many ways, but you never forget the fucking food. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah. Like anytime, you know, whatever. So there's a lot of artists as well. I feel like we connected on food, like wherever they're from and whatever country from ends of, even like Bulgaria, we talk about food all the fucking time. You know what I mean? And I feel like
we're all foodies.
You know,
yeah, we are all foodies.
Food is such an easy way to like get to know someone, and like no matter how many walls they've got, you know what I mean? Like you like this? Let's go. Let's get into it. You know what I mean? And so we used to have food pop-ups initially as much as possible, but venues don't really like that.
What you mean by food pop-ups? Like you bring food to the
Yeah,
venue?
no, I would have someone. We would have someone sell food at the events.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you
We'll do
know,
the same
so
thing
it
this
was
Friday.
family dinner. Like you come, it was communion. It was church, really. You know, we break
Yeah,
bread,
we gotta get
drink
to church as
wine,
well.
and
you
you
listen
know,
to some music, you know.
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Basically church.
You know?
nowadays.
Yeah,
You
and I
know-
believe, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
What I'm excited about in Sofia is that we get to go back to how we used to do family dinner. So
That's
we
true.
also have food.
We also have food, yeah.
You know,
So
There's
the
gonna be
venues are
fried
here
chicken.
more lenient, like they allow that.
yo,
No,
Mm.
listen, man.
Okay.
It was basically
All
like
the same.
a really close friend of mine is one of the co-owners of this club, and we're kind of he's really helping me. I have to give him a shout out for this. Volen is his name. He kind of wanted to do this with me together, just so you know, because we're the boys. I love that he's growing. He loves that I'm growing, and he had the opportunity. He's been talking about making a gig happen together for a very long time, and it being his venue, I just had the opportunity to add another thing to the equation. Be like, yo, by the way, I also want to add food. Yo, by the way, there's gonna be this many artists. Yo, by the way, we're gonna use our own mixer. Yo, by the way, I'm gonna do a ticket like this. Blah 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 blah. All these different things. And we got some dude that's gonna do Korean styled fried chicken. And the problem, yeah, man,
Shout
there's
out
this
fried
one
chicken,
spot
man.
in Berlin, man. Yeah, fried chicken definitely
Fried
is a.
chicken.
Shout out
This
chicken,
is like
man.
the core essence of our friendship, man. It's
Yeah,
Korean fried chicken.
fried chicken in general.
Just
Fried chicken, man.
doesn't matter. We
I
don't
have been
discriminate.
converted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Elias has been converted.
Yeah.
And the main problem is, how do you keep that food of the highest standard when there's no kitchen? So the way we spoke with the person who's gonna set it up is that they're gonna cook it in advance. They have these like boxes which are like heat isolated, and they're gonna make a certain amount of portions that they believe they're gonna sell, and just pull up and sell their shit. I told him, we don't want any money from you. You don't want any money from us. I give you the opportunity. You come and you sell as much as you want to sell. That's how much you sell.
You give them the
Bomba
place, do your thing.
Yes, exactly. And it's also like, I think it's nice to have food at a club, because it's not really a usual thing.
Yeah.
That's a really Berlin thing, by the way.
You think so?
Yeah, because the clubs are open there 3 days straight. Here
Ah,
they're
that's
open
true.
fair
like
enough.
Like,
Fair enough, you
8
got a
hours
point, yeah.
max.
Yeah, yeah,
like
that's
a
true.
techno club, yeah, you can.
Or you leave and you go to Fantasia.
Yeah,
And,
100%.
Fantasia, bro. Shout out.
you have a friend, apparently, that is from the homeland, that is studying.
It's too
Let's get
random.
into it,
I
yeah.
have like, cause
Yeah,
like
this is crazy. This is
I'm
crazy.
sure you have.
That's
I'm sure you
mental,
have a vague understanding of how big India is. I'm from what I consider a small town, and this dude from my small town is studying here for some reason.
Yeah.
Just like, and he's here. Like I just saw him on Instagram, so
Here
I was
in
like,
Sofia,
yeah,
Bulgaria.
yeah,
Studying culinary crafts.
something. Yeah,
Here
yeah.
in Bulgaria.
That was cool, get out. Yeah, yeah.
Kidding me.
No,
Right?
That's what I asked, but you know, he's really out here, so maybe we'll have him. We'll see. But I mean the thing with the food as well. I think a big part of building community is obviously people gotta hang out, and I don't know, food was just another way for people to hang out, because we'd have food in some of the venues. We'd have food before the concerts actually would shut down when the show starts, but then people were incentivized to come early and hang out, you know, meet each other. And there's so many people that I know that, like, I don't want to make this sound like a church, but people that like met each other, you know, found like an apartment or found a job or found, you know, just fucking made friends in the music industry, just hung out, you know what I mean? That's what we wanted to do.
You
Just
help
like,
each other.
that's it, you know, little family dinner community, you know.
It's important, man. Honestly, realistically,
And also, I think it's like a healthier night out, to be honest.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
Berlin has a lot of hedonism, if you want it, you know. So I think it's also important with events like these, where it's like, you know, you hang out, you have some food, have
Yeah.
More
like,
wholesome.
experience some music. Yeah.
Yeah, to be absolutely honest, I think the Berlin nightlife is kind of scary. Like if you come as an outsider, because I was in Berlin a couple of months ago, and I just that was my first time in the city, and I was mesmerized, man. Everywhere I went, I just saw either really cool people or like really strange people. They were all cool, but they were
in a
all
different
strange
way
ones.
cool.
yeah,
Right?
there's some weirdos. There's some
Yeah,
weirdos.
yeah, absolutely. But it's a
We've
proper
seen some
scene.
people.
I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Berlin is it's a weird city, but I think it's
It's a cocktail.
It's a cocktail.
Yeah.
Very well said. And sometimes it's a good cocktail. Sometimes
You just the cocktail.
I really need,
disproportionate.
yeah.
All cocktails.
No, but
Cock without a tail, right?
That was a witty one. That was a good one. That was a good one. I wish I came over like that.
no, but you're right. Like Berlin can be quite strange, right? But
Yeah.
that's what I needed when I moved to Berlin.
Yeah.
Like, cause everyone's so strange that nobody's strange.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
facts,
Like,
yeah.
no one cares.
When everybody is strange, no one is strange.
You know what I mean? Like, you can
People
wear whatever you want or don't want. Say what you know what I mean? Like, do you?
Yeah.
No, you're not the weird one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone is there in their own bubble,
Exactly.
and nobody cares.
Yeah.
about- like negatively, nobody cares.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you find performing in Berlin? Like, for example, when you started and up until now, like, is there any difference? Was it hard to find venues or hard to find like fans per se or like communities?
Interesting question.
As Johnny says.
I think it's very relative. Like, you also have people arriving from different places to Berlin, and I don't know. I think obviously everyone compares it to what they're coming from. So, in terms of like venues, or like if we get into like deals with venues, I think maybe like the UK has a better sort of tradition with that.
Yeah.
From what
Yeah,
I've
for sure.
heard, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of people are used to going to a venue, not so much for a specific band, but just for the sake of hearing live music. And Berlin is very much a electronic music
Yeah.
based city as well. So if you're gonna do a live music event, people need to come for the specific kind of
Right,
artist or
right.
for the event.
Yeah.
So that's kind of good and bad, because I guess in this case, people start knowing about the event, and then they're like, okay, family dinner is happening. We know what we want to see.
Yeah.
But I like that because 100% of the people that are there are for the event. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
always the thing. Like, yeah, as you said, like you know, I don't know if it's a bad. No, it's not. Fuck. For example, we playing at Kicks, which I believe is also a bar and a restaurant.
Yeah.
And so that's great because we're gonna most likely have people that don't even know what's happening.
There's a regular.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's so
regulars,
dope.
yeah.
Like lots of times, then you get, you know, you obviously have the chance to make new fans, but you also have the chance to make, you know, new haters, or you know what I mean, or just like, you know, just like,
That's a
God,
lot
pray,
more
I
important.
want them.
Yeah.
I
or like it
want
can be a
them.
vibe killer a
Shout
little
out
bit.
to
You know what I mean? Because like I find like some people have the spirit to go out there and make fans. Like they know how to win people over, but like. I don't know, take like James Blake or whatever. That's you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like he's gonna be like, yo, listen to my shit, and like he's not gonna win you over. You gotta like the music, and that's it. It starts and ends with the
And
music.
If you don't like it, it's
You know what I
It's
mean?
fine,
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
And good for him, but like, you know, for me it also starts and ends with the music, and like, but at the same time, if I feel like people are not fucking with this, I would feel like I'm forcing them to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it would be a
Stop, like in the middle of a concert. Like, for example, 100 people are at this venue,
yeah,
and like you're playing dog shit music, man.
yeah,
Like dog shit, for example.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Would you stop?
What,
I
like
would- in the
everyone's
middle of
like
concert.
talking or leaving?
I
or-
wouldn't stop the music, but I'd stop my personality a little bit. Like I wouldn't talk. You know what I mean? I'd be like
No,
next.
just get it over.
Because I'm pretty sure I got paid for you know whatever. So I'll
Yeah,
do the job. I'll do the
yeah,
job.
yeah.
You know what I
No
mean?
free
But
lunch,
I wouldn't.
baby.
I don't think I don't think I'd give them like me on a stage. It'd be like my music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty important.
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
true. There you have a different approach, or like a different mindset,
Yeah.
like depending on the gig. Like if you are doing background music, or then obviously you're not gonna be like, "What's happening,
Yeah.
Sophia?"
So
Yeah.
how would you compare the Berlin scene, Berlin venues, and our venues? Like, which would you prefer if you only can choose one to play for the rest of your life? Let's say that. Let's play that game.
I mean, I would choose Berlin simply because I think, even though, like Elias mentioned earlier, there's a disbalance between UK and Berlin, I think in general there is a lack of interest in live music and just artistic culture in Bulgaria. And don't get me cancelled for this, but this is just my hot take on it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the times a venue would perceive the artist as an accessory rather than a necessity. Yes, I feel like it's kind of like, okay, we are giving you this opportunity
Yeah.
to play, and
So be happy
so
about
we're
it.
gonna get the money and then you're gonna get paid,
Yeah.
rather than, okay, you guys are making us money by doing your thing here,
Mhm.
and we're gonna make money from our bar, and depending on the deal we might make money from other things as well.
It's like
so
a
it's-
collaboration.
Exactly, and I feel like in Berlin, even though a lot of venues if you are not like tight with them, would have the same approach simply because it's so oversaturated. You have so many different bands, so many different acts that
It's
come
like especially in these months, most venues are literally playing shows every single night.
every night. Yeah, exactly. So it's obviously you can't expect them to give you special preferential attention, but they do realize that you are the reason why this thing is functioning in the first place.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I think because there is not so much culture towards, like they said, going out and listening to a specific artist or like for a specific purpose, it's just like, let's go out and get drunk, or let's get out and listen to whatever else, where it doesn't even matter what the musical aesthetic is so much. It's more so about, you know, I'm drinking and I'm with my friends and this is all background.
And what I think is that?
Oh, we're gonna get deep, boys.
Yeah, no, this is dope. This is dope.
I think I don't want to get political about it, man, but I really think that I think it has something to do with the transitional period between the socialism and the democracy in Bulgaria, where it was very much the priority for a lot of people to make money and to focus on their own personal well-being, not on everybody's well-being. And that just kind of like through, you know, we are the generation that is the sons of those people that were a part of those, and the daughters of those people. So to us, it's kind of like not necessarily normalized, but it is what it is, you know. And we only when we grew up as individuals, we kind of said, oh, okay, it doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah.
But the people that were in power and made the decisions at that point, I think, preferred to focus on more financial benefits than cultural benefits.
Like here we are more capitalists and there we are more socialist, like in Berlin. If that's what I'm getting right now.
Yeah, you could say so. Like
In weird terms,
in weird terms, yes, indeed.
In like kind of in the musical scene itself, for sure you can put it like that.
Absolutely.
Really?
In the musical scene, you would say. Because, like Johnny mentioned earlier, I feel like there is a lot of support within a certain scene. Let's say all our other friends that are doing music within the R&B genre group would come and listen to our music and would come to our events because we are homies and we're hanging out and they
we'd
want
go
to
to
support.
theirs and you know,
we'd go
so
to their
on and so
events.
forth,
supporting
right?
each other.
Exactly.
And here
right?
the scene is a lot smaller, and I feel like a lot of the times people wouldn't want to admit it, but there is a lot of like hidden competition, and you wouldn't want to go to support this guy. Yeah, I mean it is. It's just
Usually
the way it is.
hidden. If you ask me.
Yeah. I mean,
Depends
because
on the
no, if
genre,
you see them in
but
person, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, great! I heard you had a great time." Blah, blah, blah. But deep down inside, in reality, they wouldn't want to come and support you because you might take their audience away from them, which is very counterproductive. Again, it boils down to this kind of like individualistic mentality, which is, I don't know, I think it's just a dead-end street. At one point, eventually, you're gonna end up realizing that nobody is going to have nice things.
Here, the mindset is like, if I don't have nice things, you shouldn't have nice things too.
Yes.
Like, and
but it's realistically, I would choose the scene in Germany solely because of this reason. Now, this is a good place to open like some brackets and say that I would love it to be different in Bulgaria, and I think, especially coming this time in Bulgaria, I've kind of like realized within myself that I think one of my life goals would be to try to integrate this type of mentality within the Bulgarian scene.
I mean, we're doing it already.
Yes,
like
we're doing it already.
Dinner,
Exactly. This thing.
Really, it's like we're bringing a couple of artists together. There's there's other artists that they don't know each other and they're going to play together on the same stage. They don't even get a chance to talk about competition or whatever else. It's like we inviting them in their city, but to sing and play together, and that's what it's really about, you know. And we tried to do that. Like back in the day, one of my personal goals was always to have an artist that's more established and an artist that's less established to play on the same stage.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean?
To equalize their levels.
To pull each other up.
Pull each other up,
pull
and
each
that's
other
what
up,
it is. Like we get better that way. You know what I mean? But also, one of the goals also was like to have slightly different music. Because if it's the same type of R&B, sure, whatever.
2 hours
but
later,
like,
you're bored, man.
That was really the goal. Like kind of, you know. And no one has a problem with that. You're not stealing a fan base. You're growing your fan base altogether. You know what I mean? So really, you're bringing it. You brought family dinner to Sofia, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know.
And I also think if I can add up to what you said, that the problem is not that the scene here is smaller or that there are much less fans. Like if we count the people in millions or whatever. it's just the mentality that we have that if I'm okay, I don't care about the rest. Like I'm the egocentric type of I'm Patrick Bateman and
Yeah. And you're my slave.
Yeah, and you're my slave. Yeah.
I mean, there are just a few concerts that cherish this type of creating music together, like family dinner. Like there are like some rap battles that like they're not the same, like they're just 1v1s, but
They're fun.
They're fun, and like they bring the community together. And before there was a couple of stages like Terminal 1 and Strueja, where people just the same way a couple of bands or a couple of musicians back to back just do shows with the same fan base, and that was just cool to see. But that's just not the case. Everyone is just clubbing and listening to the same shame music for the
you know what, the shame music's the big problem, because there's
What is shame music?
there's no way you don't know
2000 between 2000 and 2010, I guess.
bro. I hate
Okay, like shame
pop,
parties and stuff.
yeah.
Okay, like
it's
what's
good.
like
Rihanna,
think about the trashy
Shakira.
2000s music. Which
What, like
see,
guil-
this is
guilty
great
pleasure
because in
music.
Bulgaria this would be called shame. We are like actively bumping this shit, and this is like
Really?
We think the shit goes hard.
I wanna
This
what?
is what
What is this party you're talking about? I
Alternative
wanna
in
go,
Berlin,
man.
that's like Barlogika. You're not gonna find parties with that kind of music. Like,
So the concept of this party was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
Like
called
90s.
shame because it's shameful to listen to it in public, and so like people
Crazy.
create secret gatherings to
wild,
listen
man.
to this music to listen to. Yeah,
like I'm not putting on Pitbull in public, but if it's in the club,
Yo,
and now
yo,
these shame parties are the most active parties in the whole city,
Yeah,
or maybe in the whole country.
every
Like
club
they
like
are filled
shame
up to
night.
the max.
it's good ass music, man. You can't take that away. That's the whole
I
thing.
mean,
But
it's
I mean-
good, but when you hear it for the
Aspetta
shame
though,
times-
like what music from the 2010s? Like, are we talking about the same music?
like
Like-
Like you said, people,
Usher,
Shakira,
Shakira,
to that,
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Sure. Chris Brown,
nothing
Lil
that
Wayne.
you would be
Brown,
aware of.
Lil Wayne,
All the good
yeah.
stuff.
Like
Elias doesn't know any of the, I swear to God, if you play a song right now that you think is a hit, Elias wouldn't know it.
I mean, what did I know? Like Black Eyed Peas.
Are you aware
Yeah,
of
Yeah,
Pitbull?
that's your shame. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Hold on,
That's
hold on.
from the same
Do you know?
area.
Do you know who Sean Paul is?
Oh,
Come on, that's a bit
Okay.
niche,
I
man.
only-
That's
I
a bit
only-
niche.
Didn't you open for Sean?
I did know.
Yeah.
But I,
Oh,
we're talking about. I don't mean to. I don't mean to. I don't mean to. No. It was random.
No.
But
That's
yeah,
the story,
Elias
bro.
lives under a rock, and that's why this is also great. Like the way we make music, we listen to like. I mean, hold on, we is crazy.
We is crazy, dog.
But
We as French.
I think we
between
listen
like
to
the
a lot of
most
different
ratchet
stuff.
like plug music that's only on SoundCloud,
Plug me.
you know,
Yeah.
to like the most like mainstream
Sophisticated or
Sabrina
mainstream,
Carpenter ass music.
Yeah, like
To
like
like
the pink hair.
sure,
but, yeah.
you know,
Sure, why not?
to whatever Elias listens to. Like I don't know,
Nobody knows
like
it.
Prince adjacent, but you know.
Elias is actually the most mysterious cookie when it comes to music to listen to, because he is gonna shame every single one of us on Bulgarian music,
Really?
and you have no idea, man. He's gonna shame every single one of us
That
on
was
Bulgarian
me.
music knowledge, man.
Like in what way? Like, do you listen? Do you like it?
Do you like it? I mean,
You
I
like Bulgarian
Talk about
music?
traditional, like
I
like
yeah,
ethno.
yeah.
Bulgarian folk music.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess also like other Balkan countries or like Romania as well.
And are you the, if we talk about Ellen Grace, you're the ethno influence on Ellen Grace or what? Because I thought it was you.
It's the fucking
So we
Bulgarian,
have our
you know,
token
right here.
Bulgarians.
It's you, right?
Really
It's him.
I was, I don't know. The story with that is strange, but a friend got me into it, a Danish friend, and then I met Victor, and Victor was like running away from Bulgaria at the time. I was like, yo, do you please want to join this project? But yeah, so I guess.
Yeah, because I was
Why
like,
did you say yes?
if we
To join the project? No, I mean,
talk about
'cause
Ellen
nobody
Grace,
knew.
I was listening to Caveman,
Uh-huh.
and Caveman is like really Bulgarian ethno music, and I heard you in the background screaming like some Bulgarian stuff.
So like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
a great
like,
song. I really
It's
like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, for you now will play the fastest fingers in the Wild East, Elias Vladimarkovson.
yeah.
With a whole bunch of reverb and delay. just
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
fucking
like, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you being very iffy about that.
Oh
You
my
weren't
God.
sure if you should do it, and
Yeah,
everyone was
I-
like, "Yeah,
You
just do
thought that
it."
it's cringe. You
Yeah.
thought
Yeah, I
that it's
thought-
cringe.
'cause it's,
It's good like we're in a krčma in English.
yeah,
Is,
it's like a
krčma.
pop. Yeah.
Yeah, pop, Bulgarian pop, and
Yeah.
you're the
Those are-
biggest gypsy there.
We had a lot of fun recording that track.
That track
That was
great,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Also, like you hear other kind of yells and stuff,
Yeah,
and there's
the-
like clapping. That was all we did in the studio. I think we also got drunk, probably.
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
we did.
The
Yeah,
last
we
day
did,
was
yeah.
fucking.
And we just like put up a mic and started kind
Just
of
everybody in the room.
We're
Yeah.
just partying in the room, listening to the song. And
Do you
partying.
drink alcohol when you record, and do you try to get yourself drunk, but not drunk, but drunk? To the
I
point.
want Andres to answer this question.
No,
To the point, like it helps you with the process.
Personally, no.
Yeah, the golden ratio.
Yeah, no. Personally, no. Although the last gig I played, I had a sip of a cocktail, and I was like in that perfect headspace. But usually no.
Okay.
It depends
I
on,
think-
I
I
think,
think for
what
me-
day it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think for me it really messes me up.
If it's Monday, you need it. If
It
it's
depends on what day in the studio session it
Uh-huh.
is. Let's say if it's the last day, hell yeah, we're getting turned up. But
Okay.
like if it's the first day and we gotta do shit seriously and we got like time to catch,
Yeah.
then no, it's more maybe, smoke a doink here and there,
Yeah.
later on in the day. But like the beginning part, like when it's time to work, you work.
Okay. Yeah.
And
business,
then yes, it's business,
first.
absolutely,
Business
man,
first, yeah.
business first. And then if let's say you've laid down all the foundation and you need to just be creative, I think
Mhm.
substances definitely have the ability to unlock different parts of your mind. Where
So
you,
mysterious.
I mean, my mom's probably gonna watch this, you know.
Drugs, kids.
Does it differ between like when you create or record tracks and when you perform gigs, or it's like the same process for?
Yeah, it's very different, I'd say. I
Very
think.
different, very
I think
different.
it's just the mentality. Like you remember earlier on when we said that it's like you're trying to not step on each other's toes. I feel like in the studio sometimes you have to really push yourself past your comfort zone for certain takes, simply to be able to catch a moment.
Okay.
And then maybe there's something you played in this one take that is so cool and you would have never thought about it. You just kind of like let loose and something came out. But still, you have to be respectful in keeping it within the limits of whatever you're trying to do. Obviously, there's a take that you can just say, "Freak it, man! Just do whatever you want to do."
Yeah.
One of the things I'll say is arrangement, because if it's like in the studio, then like arrangement can be just very minimal and very much about the song and like what you're feeling. You know what I mean? Because you expect the listener to listen to the song,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but when it's arranged for live, the same song,
You're a performer.
exactly
to
right.
slap.
So
You
so
gotta
but
slap.
not so if it's up to like when it's up to me, I will like fuck up the arrangements, make it like as like heavy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Just like here's the chorus, make it louder. You know what I mean? Like kind
Yeah.
of add all the stupid licks
all
and
the
hits
bells
and
and
harmony,
whistles and
whatever. You know what I
everything.
mean? And like kind of like make the lows even lower. Just like take off the
Yeah.
compressor low key and
Exactly.
just make it a journey.
Blow
like-
up the sub. Like.
exactly
Blow
right.
up the sub.
But in the studio, like if you got a nice loop for 4 minutes straight, that's all you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just
Yeah,
need a
grooving.
Just
That's
catch
it.
a vibe, you know.
But like in live, in a lot of styles of music, it works. But like I like live arrangements.
For what we're doing,
I
yeah,
like,
I feel like
you know.
it's about the dynamics in between. I feel
Yeah.
like because in the studio, let's say a lot of the times you record a song, this song is forever there the same. So if you don't get an album the first time or a song the first time, you have the opportunity to go and listen to it one more time and then find something that you like about it. In a live setting, you gotta get it from the first time.
Yep.
If you don't capture the audience from the first time, like you said, like now is the chorus, everybody's in it, then you're kind of, in my opinion, not working to the optimal potential.
And I found out that about myself. Like I like some artists, their recordings, but when they perform live, they don't translate. Or the better for me, better is when it's the opposite. Like when the recording is like it doesn't have the energy, it doesn't have the things you feel. It doesn't make you feel anything. But when you go on live and the performer makes it like a big show, and you're like, yeah, I'm grooving with that. Like I now I like that song, but when I listen to it, I wouldn't play it in the car. Like
Exactly.
So how do you think about that? How will a song translate from the studio to the live event, or it happens naturally?
Interesting.
That's something that I think about a lot. One of the things that I do is I'm a musical director for some projects where I take what they've recorded for the album, I like make arrangements for live, right? And the way I think about it, like the album is for fans, right? The
Yeah.
album is for people that like the music, like the artist and whatever. And the live is for everybody. You know what I mean? So like I will translate whatever genre, whatever it is, like make sure everybody likes it. So like whoever you mentioned or who you were thinking about, whose music you didn't like but you like their live performance,
Yeah.
that's the goal. Like no matter if you're into
Yeah.
whatever
yeah.
genre, like you gotta be into the live music. Like that's like
Yes.
what I
Yeah,
think about a lot.
When it hits you, it hits you. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right.
exactly.
Don't
Yes, it is.
translate.
You know,
from the live performance back to the recordings.
Exactly, yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah, so you gotta keep the essence of it still. I'm not like redoing the song.
Yeah.
So the essence of the song has to be there. But when you're playing live, you're playing for everybody. You know what I mean? Like when you play at festivals, right? Even if you're the biggest act selling out whatever, it's like people are not there just for that one genre. You know what I mean? So you gotta like give everybody a little something.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Made it feel good.
You know, that's it.
We circle back to the community.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it.
But I was also gonna say I think I'm a good test of that because I don't necessarily share like your taste in like
Right.
in the sense like I wouldn't listen to like purely electronic R&B like on a daily basis, but then if you like you've been showing us also kind of for inspo like whatever live arrangements or live versions of some of these songs, and I'm like, whoa, this is actually like crazy. Like it also reminds me, I guess, of like whatever I grew up with, like rock, whatever, which is also very live based, you know, and like
Yeah.
you have whoever like Jasmine Sullivan with like a crazy guitar player, you know, as well, and like so you have those elements, and like you said, it kind of it opens it up
Yeah.
a bit.
What are our biggest influences in music? Like what?
Individually or as a group?
Let's say individually, because you have all very different
Yeah.
tastes, and Elias is a mystery, so yeah.
Andres could give it.
All right, so I come from my dad is a musician, so I've grown up around music and musical instruments my entire life. Although I didn't start playing music until later on. I think I was about 14 or 15.
Okay.
When I started playing drums, yeah, I just played like in bands in my school and stuff. And then straight after high school, I moved to Berlin and went to uni and met these guys.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But like,
No.
what is the influence? Like,
No.
what made you play?
So I would say that my biggest influences is my dad and his music. And most of the music that I listen to today, I got from him. So when I was a kid, like I grew up listening to a lot of like Beatles and Electric Light Orchestra and like a lot of like 80s music, like Depeche Mode and I don't know, like Yazoo, all of that. And then sort of when I started playing music, I think that's really when my musical taste changed a lot. I started listening, I don't know, I was trying to like find, let's say, like a genre that I can associate myself with, and that led me to like listen to a lot of different bands. I started with like the Police and Red Hot Chili Peppers and I don't know, like a lot of like funky rocky stuff, but I also was like into this kind of like, I don't know, more so like atmospheric, ambient, like melancholy music.
Radiohead.
Yeah, Radiohead is actually
What is coming?
it's like it's one of my biggest influences for sure for my musical taste. And then I was like looking for all these artists and all these genres, and then I realized that it's not about that. It's not about that. That's not what music is about. It's not about the genres. It's not any about any of that stuff. It's just like I had to really like sort of develop my philosophy around music in a way, and then that kind of, I don't know, it led me to here, to this place. I guess then we can call what I was looking for either like fusion rock or R&B. I don't know.
No, man.
Yeah.
It's like I can like try to name some artists that I like now. It's like Jordan Rakai, Sting and the Police. Still love the Beatles to this day.
Shout out the
Shout
Beatles.
out the Beatles.
Ciao, B, man.
Nobody will hear us, guys. I'm sorry to tell, but nobody will hear us.
Yeah. Shout out Radiohead for sure. Got me through all my depressive years.
We all have that one band that got us through.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
and
yeah,
and
bro.
Radiohead really did that for me. It's really good music. Maybe not for everyone, but I like it.
Yeah, okay. That's quite a journey, you know.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Originally, I started playing the keys when I was quite young.
The keys.
Yes, I played
That was
keys
your
for
first instrument?
I played keys for 10 years. Yeah,
Oh.
10 years.
for 10 years. Yeah,
didn't know
since
that.
I was 4
This
until
guy's
I was like
talented, you know.
14.
Okay.
But I played only classical music, And the thing
Same.
is,
High five.
you gotta dap me up.
Yeah.
Come on, man. He let me hang in earlier. I don't know if you noticed.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, my
It's okay, I
bad.
dap myself up. It's okay.
It's fine.
On camera?
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh, we're gonna watch
I'll send you the clip. I'll send this only clip. Yeah.
gotta post it
But,
on like Instagram or something.
Yeah.
So like initially I did a lot of classical music because my dad really wanted me to play a musical instrument because he also used to be a musician back in like the 70s and 80s and maybe even early 60s and 70s. And I ended up yeah, my guy is old, man. My old man is old.
His gears are grinding. He's like,
Like, wait, how old are you?
Let me help you, man. Let's calculate together.
My guy was around. And I remember that I quite enjoyed listening to really, really trashy pop music at that part of my life. Like I was, you know, like Lil Wayne, Linkin
Lil Wayne's
Park,
pop, Lil Wayne,
you know, like Chris Brown,
Yes,
like
sir.
all, like
Yes, sir.
everything that was playing on
That
The
abuser.
Voice
So
and
like the
CTTV,
shame,
like
shame.
that was my vibe. You know what I mean?
Music.
That's my jam.
And I think I really didn't care about like I differentiated music that I enjoy and music that I play quite a lot, simply because all the music that I played was something that my classical pianist teacher would give me from a book, and then this is what you have to play, and
That's
it's
your Chopin.
exercises on exercises on exercises until at one point I got to a point where I would be like every year in school there would be like a recital where you would play whatever you learned throughout this year. And the last 3 years of me doing piano classes, I would play the same piece. I would play like Toccata and Fugue by Bach.
Oh.
So it's like
Yeah, it's the same thing
before the
over
full
and
year,
over
I asked her,
again.
okay, like, can we learn something else? Can we learn something different? And first year she was like, no, you need to practice this etude first. You need to go da, da, da. Until at one point she just downright told me, listen, I don't know what else to teach you anymore. And the whole time I was asking her,
That's
like,
nice.
can we learn something that's a little bit more like this or something that's a little
that
more
means
like
that
this?
you're so good that she can teach you anymore. And
I think that means that she is just a teacher at Prvo Stopenč po Slavejkov.
Hey, yo, shout out.
Shout out to
that had some dreams and then probably I don't know I don't even remember her name. I think her name is Jastianova.
no, don't do
no,
that.
no hate,
Don't do
no
that,
hate,
yeah.
no hate. I love you. You taught me a lot of things about music, but I wish you taught me more.
Damn.
And
She couldn't teach you anymore.
and then I got really, really depressed and pissed off at the fact that she just downright told me she couldn't teach me anything else, and I didn't want to play music anymore.
Why
and I
didn't
said,
you find another teacher?
Why did you get pissed off? She doesn't know anymore, man.
I mean, because I don't know. In my mind, this was like the icon. This was the person that
You're so
would
drama
show me everything. I mean, no, I don't think it's I think it's
My
I-
teacher
Janova
has
is the
failed.
goal.
my teacher has failed me exactly.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
like a person you look up to and you think they're like have limitless knowledge.
Yeah, and then
they've
you
been
find the limit.
leading
Like
me
judging.
on
The
with
limiter
so
is right
long.
there.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's like right there, and I'm like, man, like what the hell?
How old were you?
I was maybe around 11,
Bro.
something like that.
Bro.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
early on,
That's
early on.
And
And then I said, hell nah, I'm not doing this shit anymore. I don't want to play music. And
What you thought you were gonna be?
I don't know. No, I actually there was like a year and a half that I said, frick it, I don't care. I'm not gonna be doing this anymore.
Yeah, okay.
And at that point I also didn't know that I want to do music fully. It was just like a thing that I was doing while I was doing school or whatever else. And I remember my dad very clearly coming home one day with a bass guitar and an amp and playing this one riff from Deep Purple, a song called Black Knight, and playing the intro and then starting to play the verse, and maybe like 4 bars in the verse he just stopped and looked at me and said, yeah, but you're not going to be able to play that, and left the bass and left the house.
Oh.
like, bitch!
Mind games.
Bobby's still the same.
Bobby's still the same, bro. Bobby don't fuck around.
Bobby still plays the mind games.
Yeah, still
Still
does
to
me
this
like
day,
that.
Bobby.
So I spent 7 hours in that room and I learned how to play that thing. Like no experience with a string instrument before in my life.
You're like, I'm gonna learn that.
Yes,
and play
exactly. Just because he told me I can't do it, and I did. And
a great
then,
psychologist.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, he knows his kid. I gotta give him that. And eventually, I think I started getting a little bit more into rock. One of my all-time favorite inspirations is Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, cold band, man.
Called, yeah, they're
Cold
called.
band.
They're called. I also had my classic 2013 Arctic Monkeys phase, which character building moments of my life.
Yeah, we all. I told you Muhammad is his second name, so yeah,
Bro.
you gotta
I'm sorry,
expect what
man.
you gotta expect.
And then I think once I entered like middle school and high school, I started getting a little bit more into electronic music, in particular in drum and bass.
Oh.
And I had a very heavy drum and bass phase. Yes,
Skrillex, man.
I'll never forget Skrillex as well. Right, 2010, man. Hell yeah! I just remember it was like, what the hell is this? And then.
Do you know Skrillex?
Yeah.
I had to
The
check in.
important question,
I
yeah.
had to check in.
Do you
Alright.
know Korn featuring Skrillex?
Korn featuring Skrillex.
Yeah, that's a good song.
What?
Is it?
Hell nah.
Korn featuring
Listen to
Skrillex.
it.
I missed
We'll
out on
listen to
that.
it after the podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
Really, man?
Okay.
Okay.
That's probably
That was like when I was a teenager. That was like the new thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn.
Okay.
I didn't know. I knew that he had a metal band and he was a vocalist before he became a producer.
He was what?
He was a vocalist in a metal band, yeah.
You know it.
Yeah. And they're actually okay. I think I'm not sure exactly.
Probably
Some
more
sort-
like emo.
emo metal vibe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Super,
Skrillex
super
with
emo.
with the
with
carrot,
the
everything
fucking-
is emo, yeah.
And then some parties at 4th kilometer later, I was like, yeah, drum and bass and shit.
yeah.
And eventually I ended up getting but throughout this whole period, like I think my dad is kind of like also one of my biggest inspirations, like Andrew said, simply because he was a musician back in the day and he showed me a lot of music. So I mentioned Queens of the Stone Age, but the all-time god for me is Eric Clapton, man. Like may he be the god forever, man. Simply because, you know, a lot of people go and throw hate on him, a lot of people go and say that he ain't nothing that special, but I think to me, he is the guy, man. When it comes to dynamics, when it comes to phrasing, when it comes to just kind of like musical expression and capturing a moment, he taught me personally most of the ways of thinking purely by listening to his music, not even like reading about it, and also analyzing and talking about music with my dad. So then the more closer I got to high school, the more I got introduced to funk music and soul music and blues very heavily, and then it all kind of ended up moving on to jazz, only for me to eventually realize that I'm a little bit late for jazz, and maybe if Just Stoyanova showed me jazz, I would have had time.
But he still loves you. He still loves you.
But I didn't.
So your father was like the needle drop, like Anthony Fontano, like you.
Yes, absolutely. He would just pull up and just drop me shit and just show me stuff and be like, listen to this guy, or not even just listen. He would be listening to it in the living room. And would turn it up very loud, and I would walk in from my room and he would just not say anything. He would just wait for me to ask what is this, and he would be like, this is this.
Cool.
And and then in Berlin I got introduced to techno a little bit more seriously, and I had a very heavy electronic music phase, like especially in uni I was producing a lot of techno. And then through playing more live music and through Johnny in particular, I got introduced to the more gospel sound of stuff.
Okay.
Which I think when people say gospel, they don't really understand the sound of it, because I know that I didn't once you introduced me to it. To me, this was like church and angels and bells and just fucking.
Johnny said he's a priest at the church and he's talking about community.
Son of the
all
preacher
time,
man.
Yo.
Just you wait.
And then at one point I realized, you know, if you think about like all the big artists like Beyonce or whoever else, they all got gospel bands. There are dudes that play in the church every Sunday that are just absolutely bodying their instruments and doing the craziest shit.
Some of the craziest.
Some of just people that are unlocked, you know, on like Xbox when you get the achievement unlocked, like these guys just have music unlocked.
Play anything.
Whatever the mind chooses.
Has the achievement. Like.
And then nowadays I think I'm really into the more like gospel / jazzy / still has some like rocky influence. So that's kind of like
rock.
Dad rock very much. Dad rock.
Yeah.
I thought you're
rock.
getting old. Yeah.
Yeah, man. The clock's ticking, bro.
Can I ask what is dad rock? Like
Dad rock?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Eric Clapton.
For
The
sure.
rock yours
He's
that
the final
listens to.
boss of Dad Rock.
And
Rolling
like
Stones,
Deep
Deep
Purple,
Purple,
yeah,
Led Zeppelin,
Yeah. Like classical rock.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
Yeah,
AC/DC.
AC/DC.
60s, 70s, 80s, like
Yes.
if you can
Is the
find it.
pinnacle of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's about me. What about you, John K?
How'd you get into music? Well, no.
So my
church,
dad
what are your
actually
influences?
preaches. So I grew up in the church. My parents are missionaries to this day. God bless them for real.
Respectfully, got him.
Yeah. My brother too. He's a worship leader. He's a pastor. He sings as well.
Cool.
So I grew up in church playing music like that, but always in the back. So that's why I play a little bit of every instrument, because that's what church kids do. Like at least like the kind of church I went to. It's like you just
you can play this and this and this.
you know
and
you're
that.
supposed to do that. Like church is over, you hang out, you play instruments. You know what I mean? So I did that, And it was just that. I just did that for the majority of my life. I really just played instruments at church.
And what type of music do you play in
I
churches?
mean,
because I'm not that.
Yeah. The church that
Jesus.
we grew up in, I wouldn't say it wasn't gospel music as you might know it. It wasn't that. It was something called contemporary Christian music, which is a whole genre.
Contemporary Christian
Look
music
it up
is nice.
if you feel like it's CCM. Yeah, it's like Coldplay, but
Okay.
more holy maybe. Yeah, that was it.
It's always happening. It always happens
great.
when you talk.
No.
That's the banter here.
Gotta refill. I did that for the longest time. So for
Okay.
me, there were no genres. It was either Christian music or secular music,
Okay.
which is
Say
what
what?
I knew.
What type of
Yeah.
music?
Secular.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. What'd you
Yeah, I
do?
heard something else as well.
What'd you do?
Bro,
Oh,
guys.
something about sucking.
Oh, well, no, but
Secular.
so yeah.
You hear what you want to hear.
As far as I was
Yeah, man,
concerned, it was
dry.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was really just like, I was told like don't listen to pop music because that's like, you know,
Sinful.
it was or is, I don't know, maybe it still is, you know.
Definitely
But that's
is.
so I
Definitely
grew
it
up.
is
So I grew up
satanic
with
and
holy
sinful,
music and not so holy music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't know genres. So like, if my friends were playing Eric Clapton, that was for me secular music.
Sorry,
If another
I
homie
thought
is-
about a joke on Hollywood on that, but yeah, continue.
Alright,
Yeah,
we
okay.
keep it. But but like Justin Bieber and Eric Clapton was in the same world of music to me because it was non-Christian music.
they were
So it was
sinful,
Christian
right?
music and only
was
God
there-
can judge you, man. That's all I'll say.
I mean, was there a
Message,
strong
okay.
like you can only play this type of music or listen to this type of music?
To be honest, like, God forbid my parents find this, but yeah, it was very much forbidden for me to play all of that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So what was forbidden for me to play was, you know, the
Popular
good thing,
music.
Christian music was dope though. So I got
Christian
really
music
good
go
at
hard,
music.
yeah.
I mean, if I can say so myself, I feel like I figured out a lot of like things about music, playing gospel music, Christian music, and hymns and whatever, because it's like
Especially about live music.
it's dope. Yeah. Like I learned everything about also like the tech behind music, like churches. If you don't like, lot of the modern churches have like the best tech right now.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like first time I played with in-ears and like whatever amount, like all these people on stage and whatever, like, you know, the biggest productions I did was in church. So I learned all of that. So it was that and pop music. But within pop music, I think I realized I like T-Pain.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Or like Usher and Chris Brown. There was some artists like growing up. It was pop music because it was radio. I didn't go out and listen to any artists. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was like music I did listen to and my friends. And at the time, radio, Chris Brown, T-Pain. Sometimes Justin Bieber sneaked in. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean?
Wrong, man. Justin,
He's a sneaky bastard.
You know what I
Justin
mean?
got a good grip on the scene, man.
And so whatever was really popular, like it was just really pop music for me. But I knew what I liked in those songs, so I tried and cover those. But my friends would all like rock music, so then I would do like a rock version of like a T-Pain song. You know what I mean?
I want to hear it.
T-Pain type.
You know, I
You
want
know,
to
that's
hear
also wanna hear that
2015
song.
beats,
Yeah.
bro. 2015. But
Please,
you know,
please.
yeah, it's not until I moved to Berlin. So I moved to Berlin, and then I did songwriting courses with everybody. I wrote like a few songs in class, and to me, still, just so you know, I'm not thinking genres. I'm thinking, you know, Christian music and not so Christian music. And
Yeah.
I made my not so Christian music,
Okay.
and people were like, "Oh, you fuck with R&B? It's nice." You know, they were like, "Oh, you like R&B, yeah?" And I was like, "R and who?" You know,
Who is B?
you know.
Who is B?
Who is by?
Yeah.
I'm not bad.
Yo,
Pause.
not right now, but
Let's unpack that.
yeah. So I think the journey towards R&B was very like I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know until
It
I
just
made
happened.
music. Until I made music, I didn't really know. Oh shit!
Yeah,
Actually,
natural.
yeah, you know what I mean. But the thing is, R&B music, as far as I'm concerned, comes all the way from gospel music. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of like parallels.
Is that a hot take?
I mean, that's literally
No,
the
it's not.
that's
That's
not
not
hot
true.
take, that's
It's
just
a-
facts.
It's a
That's
fact.
just
Yeah,
facts.
it's
My
more.
My bad.
Easy.
I mean, it's like
I didn't know that too. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
that's why it's called R&B. It's like rhythm, which is gospel, and blues is blues.
Rhythm and blues. Yeah.
What?
No.
Okay. Come on.
What you
On
told.
some OG shit, man.
Just didn't think.
Rice
it
and
was
beans.
Rice and beans.
Rice and beans.
I mean,
Family dinner alternative name, bro.
Rice and
Rice and
beans.
Rice and beans.
Rice
You
and
pull
That's
it out?
actually hard.
Take it,
as-
guys. Take it,
Yo.
guys. Take it. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, man. How about you,
Welcome to Rice
Elias?
and beans.
you done?
Yeah.
I feel like you had more info. Anyway, yeah. Okay, no. What can I say?
What am I missing? No,
Guns N' Roses?
You missed Guns N'
First
Roses.
concert I've been to was Guns N' Roses.
Nice.
Still to this day, then break
Without
that rehearsals.
Axel, but yeah.
Without the fat Axel.
Without Axel, it was with Miles Kennedy.
Yeah, there's
Miles
Axel and there's
Kennedy.
fat Axel. Yeah.
No, I just thought like it was interesting when you said that like your first R&B influences were like Korean R&B, for example.
Also facts.
Korean R&B.
Also facts.
And that's like that's
What's
not
that?
something that you hear
Trying to
so
out me,
much about.
yeah. My roommate was Korean for the longest, or like a bunch of my roommates. Where I went to like a weird ass school in India. So, shout out India. But
That's the most people we should ever shout out.
India,
shout out to
community, bro.
mention
Come on,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Shout outs to
but yeah, no, my roommate. So it was made like that's a good example you bring up. But I was listening to whatever my friends would listen to. Like I would never seek out music. I didn't know you could. You know what I mean? Or like.
Right.
Maybe I thought I wasn't allowed. I don't fucking know. Whatever was playing, I'd find like the few things that are cool. I'd be like, wait, hold on, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, that's cool. And then it turned out to be R&B. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I understood that. That's my thing. No, that's my thing.
Yeah,
R&B
yeah.
is my thing.
Yeah. It wasn't until I moved here, genuinely, like.
Yeah,
Like
bro,
this-
I know. I
but-
remember you,
and I
man.
think,
when you
and I
moved
think
in.
that's important to me because, hopefully to this day, I don't really like. I'm not really elitist about any genre.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Maybe I'm getting there slowly, but at least at the time.
Oh, man.
But at least at the time, like it would really like on my playlist, you'd find Black Sabbath and D'Angelo. Like that's how it was because I just
Yeah.
like music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same to this day, man.
Yeah.
Mishung.
To this
Yeah.
day.
Mishung, yeah.
Yeah.
Genau.
Ja, genau.
Oh.
Again now.
Andres,
Speaking
best
of
German
missions.
speaker.
Absolutely not. Probably the third worst here.
Third worst.
Let him guess. This is like writing like on a picture with three girls. Oh, you two look beautiful.
So how'd you start?
Yeah.
Elias, what's
The
up
mystery
with you, man?
box.
Yes.
I also have a musician father. Who would have
Oh, nice.
guessed?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. What a surprise after.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
So my father's from Bolivia, and he was active as a musician in Bolivia for a long, like during his 20s, and he was a lot about sort of, well, he was young right after the dictatorship, the military dictatorship had was over, and there was suddenly the liberty to play rock, for example, and a lot of his projects were kind of trying to fuse folk music with rock, and to kind of make it new, because somehow in Bolivia, that's also, I wanted to ask about that as well in Bulgaria, how it is with this, because I think the first time we were here, I was asking about how, the average Bulgarian relates to folklore in general. I mean, just like the music, but also like the dances or anything. But at least in Bolivia, it's still very much alive and celebrated, and through carnival and a lot of like other festivities. It's also a religious thing. But anyway, so I always grew up with that thought of like, okay, it's kind of cool to like fuse something modern, so to speak, you know, with something a bit more rootsy. Yeah, so that's like from my dad's side, but obviously also like he showed me a lot of the music that he was listening to, which was like in the end Argentinian artists, like Argentinian rock artists.
Okay.
That like
Because Bolivia is near Argentina, and that's yeah.
and at the time when
respected.
Buenos Aires was like the LA of South America, you know, that's where
Los
all the
Angeles.
superstars were coming from. Yeah, so I think that's like what triggered my musical beginning, and then for my mom's side, it was like grunge, a lot,
Grunge.
like Nirvana.
Okay.
Who else?
Your mama was a
Soundgarden.
rebel.
Yeah, I mean she grew up
Hell
in
yeah.
the
To this
90s.
day, to this day.
Did it day.
To this
Your
day.
mom
Hey.
that Kurt Cobain was like German or something?
Oh, for the longest time, I thought that Nirvana was German because my mom had told me. They're like, yeah, they're a German band. And she thought she
Yeah,
told
Kurt.
Kurt,
Schneider?
Kurt, genau.
Yeah.
How do you Germanize Cobain?
She also told me Lenny Kravitz was
Oh.
Dutch.
Lenny Kravitz could totally be Dutch though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz.
So
Although the way I said it could be Bulgarian.
Yeah, you said like a Bulgarian. Leonardo
Kravitz.
Kravitsio.
Leonid.
Leonid Kravitz.
but I don't know, like my own favorite bands, there's this Danish band Mew that just always follows me, like I always fall back on them at some point. yeah, Queen. Although I think I can't really listen
They're
to them
not German,
anymore.
for your information.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, by the way,
Uh,
I just want to come in.
don't
What,
come
what was this guy's name? The vocal from Queen. I always forget.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
You forget Freddie
Say it
Mercury.
out loud.
Let me see you at the same table.
India shout out number 4. Farouk Balsara is his name.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bro, Freddie Mercury is actually Indian.
Yeah.
Isn't he Pakistani?
No.
I swear to God, he's like some Middle Eastern guy, man. Isn't he like Persian or
Iraqi,
something?
Pakistani, Afghanistani,
Oh,
whatever?
yeah, but that's like.
No, he's okay. So his family is Gujarati, which is like an ethnicity and a state in India.
Okay.
But I believe he was actually born and raised in
Zanzibar.
exactly.
Yeah,
I was
I was gonna say.
Sheffield.
So
Yeah.
Indian family in Zanzibar,
Yeah.
and then they moved. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Still
You're
Indian
almost right.
though. Still
Like,
Indian though. He do be
That
Indian.
was
I
just-
just said.
Yeah,
Where the
that,
hell
that,
is
that
that?
was just fact check.
We claim him. You know. so-
Wow.
Jonathan Asu.
That's it.
Jonathan.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's true. What was I saying? Yeah,
Something
that's it,
about
basically.
bands,
Yeah.
And then
Queen. Yeah.
yeah, and then folk artists like I don't know in the Balkans. I think the first people I listened to was like Fanfare Ciocarlia from Romania, Tarav de Haiduks, and
What
This-
Bulgarian artist do you know?
Natka Karejova is a singer. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Netka Karajova.
Karejova.
See, I told you, he's gonna flex on all of us.
I
with like
don't
people
know.
She's
who
a-
she
I
is,
I
you
know
know,
that
man.
name, but I don't know.
She
I
was
don't
a
know
folk.
who she is.
She does.
I'm not sure if she's still alive. Was a folk singer.
She's
and,
not.
Okay.
Inshallah.
If she
Give me
is
more. Give me more.
still alive.
Really interesting to like.
That's of the names that I can remember at the moment. I also like. I mean, this is. I don't want to put salt in any wounds, but from Macedonia, this is Esma Rejepova.
Ah, she's
Esma
Bulgarian, you know,
Rajapova.
like, it's-
There's no song. There's no one.
Like I said, man, like we don't care as much, but the hatred comes from the other side of the
Yeah,
mirror.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
joke
really-
about it. They cry about it. Like.
So I really like her. Like she just had a very powerful voice. It's, yeah. Not
Damn, rip the gold,
Rest in
man.
peace.
R.I.P. the
R.I.P.
gold,
R.I.P.
bro.
You know about this?
No.
Victor Valdez?
No.
Zamina,
Did you say Aziz?
Aziz.
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 Everybody knows Aziz.
Дойдеме на думата.
That's like
he's a
probably. I thought about it last week. That's probably the most famous Bulgarian ever.
Fair enough,
yeah.
for sure.
Fair
Most
enough.
right.
Bulgarian at the moment, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, of all time. Maybe
No,
Stoichkov
Христо Стоичков is
Nah,
up there
bro.
competing, bro.
Aziz,
Yeah.
Aziz is listened in China.
Grigor Dimitrov.
Grishta, yeah, but they don't know he's Bulgarian, that's the whole thing. Like, I feel like...
Той е Хасковлето.
Yeah,
He's from Хасковлето.
I don't know, man. Like, the thing is, I think Aziz definitely, like you said, China, man, he got the grip.
Yeah.
He got the grip.
And that's no small grip.
But the
He
like
has
a-
experience with the grip.
Well, that's
Hey.
fucking grip.
Yo,
Pause, pause, pause. bro, pause.
yo.
Got that gorilla grip.
And I
bet
think
you,
that
man.
was all marketing. Like that's my opinion.
I was about to ask you, man, like, what's your hot take on that?
That's all. That
On
was all
the-
marketing. The Chinese and the Aziz and that couple. нали, Yeah, Aziz и китайца. Yeah, that's all marketing because at that time, at that period in Bulgaria, it was like really a taboo to be gay, and I guess that
was his
I
selling
don't know, that's a
point.
fact. That's
Yes,
what
yes.
made him famous.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Because
my
there
take.
was this other guy, Kitaica, whose name literally translates to the Chinese guy.
Yeah,
Also artist. So it was Aziz and the Chinese guy.
and they were a couple.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they were actually together, or they were just.
Question mark.
Yeah, that's what
Question
we're
mark.
discussing. Like for me, it was marketing. Like it was the end of the 2000s, like before 2007, 2008, 2005,
No.
yeah, something like that. And
Even earlier, man. 2003 Aziz, like what, 21-year-old, something like that.
yeah,
He was already on the. See, man, like, I don't know, man. I feel like.
Come on, say it.
Should we get into this conversation?
maybe
not,
we got
maybe
into
not,
this
tread
conversation
lightly.
like last time we had a rehearsal about like, is this a thing that you can genuinely fake, or is it a thing that
What,
is inside of you?
a
Like,
relationship.
I wouldn't say the relationship. I would say like, because his whole persona in that point of his career was very flamboyant,
he
very
was drag
draggy.
queen. Like he was the
Yeah,
early
yeah,
version
drag
of
queen,
drag
yeah.
queen.
And I feel like,
Yeah,
as much as it makes sense that he would like fake it for the glory,
yeah.
I feel like it has to be true, man. Because like
I don't
he
know,
does it so good,
He
man.
did it again the last
feels-
couple of years as well.
But now he's like all macho. That's the thing. That's why the
He
controversy.
But that's because
So
what's in,
different
man.
now,
That's
it's
literally
great.
because
It's
like
actually
nowadays
scary.
it's
Like,
in
yeah,
to be
man,
like
bro.
fucking
Yeah.
bulk
Yeah.
and fucking.
I think
hair.
what we need
right.
to do is get Aziz to the podcast.
Oh, bro,
You know
what?
what I mean?
If we
It's
could,
2025,
Aziz,
Aziz,
I
just
would-
called you
I
out.
would.
I want
Barlog, that's what's up. You know where to find it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, please. Aziz,
You all come here.
Aziz,
also.
Aziz,
Yeah,
Ewa.
That's all. we do.
Ewa.
You should just tag him.
yeah.
Everybody send this to Aziz.
That's it.
And comment
We
Shalom
can-
Aziz.
man,
Shout out
Family
Aziz, shout out
dinner,
Aziz, shout out Aziz.
ex-Aziz, bro.
Yo.
Yo,
Family dinner,
I
ex-Aziz.
2025.
Would
We'll
you-
be back with. Oh,
Would you
come
play
on.
for Aziz?
Hell
Would you play
yeah.
for Aziz?
But the thing is, his band's gonna fucking
day.
dick on us bad, man.
Really?
It's fine. We'll do it our own way.
Yeah,
We
man.
got
The
our
pop
own.
folk
Yeah,
scene,
man.
all the musicians in the pop folk scene in Bulgaria are the best musicians in the whole country.
They're just
But
unlocked alcoholics.
they do only pop folk because that's where the money is.
What is
Yeah.
it? What was this German name? Sasho Bikov.
Sasho Big.
What
Sasha
do you know
Bikov.
about Sasho Bikov?
Sasho Bikov, best drummer.
Man,
five
this
drummers
guy
of all
really.
time.
I remember we found him
Crazy.
like 1 year in Berlin, and just like they were playing in Mannheim in Germany for some wedding, man. And my God, this guy, bro, coked the fuck up. I shouldn't have said that.
No,
I was doing
Cocaine
so
God.
well until now.
He may or may not have taken substances.
Fuck that.
But yes, like this guy just unlocked, man. Literally on the drums. Just
The white
unlocked.
powder, man.
The white powder.
Angel dust.
Yeah.
Sasho Bikov.
Realistically, man.
So yeah, coming back from Aziz to still
reality.
still in the
Guys,
local
we
scene.
fucking killed this bottle, man.
Which Bulgarian artist would you like to play to and have the chance to play with?
This is a question aimed to all of us or to the people who know, like, or to me.
I don't know how deep
Yeah.
your
How
knowledge,
familiar
guys,
you are
is.
with-
Like, you gotta help me out here.
I think Elias should go first.
What with who?
Yeah, yeah.
From
Yes,
Bulgaria.
yes. Yeah, definitely.
From Bulgarian artists that you've heard of, who would you?
Yes.
Even if they're dead, no, if they're dead, that's
Even
cool.
if they're
You
dead.
can do a
If they're dead,
tribute.
okay.
Good money,
Yeah,
man.
okay.
Good
I
money.
only know the
I
dead
mean-
ones.
I don't know. Like, obviously, we've been talking about Aziz, but it was just like such a. I don't know. It was crazy to me to find this artist and
Yeah.
be like, oh my god, like Bulgaria has this like gay amazing singer, that's like an icon.
Yeah, he's an
Icon, right.
He's
He's
an
an
icon,
You know,
yeah.
and it's like anyway. It also just like again, it's you have all these stereotypes about Eastern Europe if you're from the West. Like I'm half Danish, and like in Denmark is a tiny country as well, and still we don't really know where Bulgaria is. Like we don't
Man,
have
it's
the.
fun. I was like, if I can plug in here,
Yeah.
I was 16. I was in Germany. I won some competition at my school, and I was sent to a German family to live. with
Oh,
them
you
for
did
2
that
weeks.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I
the
know that shit, man.
Yeah, yeah. And the
Oh
first
my
day,
God.
the mother asked me, "So, guys, are you still communists? Because I read somewhere that you still are." And I looked at it. I was like, I don't know where we read that.
Yes.
I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah, I was like shot dead
That's a
at that
crazy
moment. I
thing
was
to ask
shot dead.
someone.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
that's
she was like all
insane.
friendly and stuff, and asking, like, "Yeah, you're communist, right?" No.
You should have said, "Oh, and your capital is Bonn."
But yeah, that's what I meant. Like, Bulgaria is not known in the West.
Yeah, and
I have never heard of Bulgaria until I moved to Europe. I'll be the first to say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even know what the
That's
fuck.
Fair
normal,
enough,
man.
bro.
What's
Yeah, that's
that?
normal,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
What the fuck would you know?
So we talking. I was like 19, 20 when he told me some Bulgarian. I was like, Nokmal once again.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah. So this is what it is. So you heard of Bulgaria? I mean, you didn't. Yeah.
yeah, no,
Bulgarian.
that's no. But I was just gonna say that like to have like a pop artist like that, it's kind of I don't know. It sheds a bit of light as well, you know, in that sense because. I don't know, from Denmark, you're like, oh, you know, like Eastern Europe. Like you said, it's like, oh, still communist. Like,
Yeah.
as if, you know. So, anyway, that would just be a crazy collab. I mean.
With Aziz, come on.
Aziz,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah. Fingers
please,
crossed, man.
The
Fingers
bag
crossed.
would be stupid, man. Like USA tour with Aziz.
Yeah, man.
USA tour with
We'll
Aziz.
become millionaires.
Florida, New York, Chicago.
LA.
I don't know. See, the thing is, like, Chicago has the biggest Bulgarian community in the States, I think.
Yeah.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Las Vegas as well has a whole bunch of Bulgarians.
Las Vegas residency with Aziz.
Bro.
Stupid
Bro.
money.
Stupid,
bro.
like, ditch the camera.
Stupid money.
Yeah.
Where's the Lithuanian community in
In
US?
Chicago.
Also in
Chicago.
Chicago.
Let's
That's
go to
what I
Chicago.
thought.
Sweet home, Chicago.
My people everywhere, so pick a city. We find.
Fucking
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Just say a name.
yeah. I don't know any Bulgarian artists, I won't lie. I tried to go on a deep dive before family dinner.
Crazy. That was a crazy story.
I
man.
asked
Oh,
like
man.
ChatGPT. I went on like I'm not kidding. I googled. I went to Spotify. I read articles. I really wanted to get into like R&B, neo soul, that's very adjacent to my music. I found a few.
Yeah.
I think my favorite was this artist. Her name is Nia. I don't know if
I
that's her
don't
full
know,
artist
man.
name.
Yeah.
But maybe with Tiger or some shit.
Vicky,
You'll find
yeah.
her name. I just
I
found
don't
her like
remember. I've
through
drank
just
too
going
much
through
Akira.
articles and whatnot. Yeah. Maybe her. We gotta do family dinner. We might invite Nia. Yeah.
Do you have any artists that you would want to like collaborate
Bulgarian artist
with?
Yeah.
that I would want to collaborate
Vladi
with.
Markov. Resti Sol.
Resti Sol, the
This
gold
is
man.
what I was
the
gonna
gold.
say.
Oh, sorry,
Vladi
man.
Markov.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
it's okay,
you
it's
can go.
okay.
Yeah, okay. So Andrew
Vladi
says
Markov,
Vladi
man.
Markov, man.
It's the
Yeah.
king,
There's
man.
this one video of
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
King
classic
Vladi.
man.
Mami
The
Lanche.
classic.
Mami Nuanchi, yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
He knows.
Amazing.
My boy knows.
Oh,
My
the sax
boy
player,
knows.
That's
well,
an
you
amazing
teach
song.
him well.
the,
That's
fu-
amazing.
the
That's a
sax
team.
player on that video is crazy. I think he even says something like "Айде майсторе," like so fucking, and he just goes.
Yeah.
No, legend, absolute legend.
I think, man, realistically, if I had to choose a Bulgarian artist with whom to play with, this is super weird. Like, one of the few artists that I really, really unironically fucked with from Bulgaria the last couple of years. I'm sorry, bro, I keep on messing it up, man. Like, it's too late.
Drum roll.
There's a girl called Neandras. She works with Ivan Shopov, who is this Kuch, you know, the drum and bass producer Kuch from like Komasu. And she had this one song called 10 Swords that's just been on my mind for so many years. And I don't really like, she's very much like industrial, atmospheric
You gotta
type
show
music.
it to me. I don't know that song.
Great song,
Yeah,
man.
it's a bit
Great
niche
song.
still.
Great, super. I think if you go on YouTube, she's gonna have like 120 views or something like that.
Okay.
But I
Okay,
just
man.
really, really like, I like her voice a lot. I think her timbre is very nice.
Okay.
And from like the bigger artists, I would. It's a great question, man. I think Simu, who is the guy we're playing with
Yeah.
next Friday, because
crazy.
man, he's just a really, really good musician
He's
and
really
vocalist.
talented, man.
Yeah.
Really talented
great.
guy.
And it's not recognized here. That's
No, man, it's a fucking shame, honestly. Simply because
It's
simply
okay. We already got that past that part.
yeah.
I'm just still thinking about it. And I'm just like, damn, because I tried so hard. I did like frick like 4 times earlier in the
Yeah.
show. I was like, oh yeah. And then now
I'm
it's just-
doing good.
Now Simo, the guy, I'm so excited for the gig with Simo. actually.
Yeah,
That's gonna
really
be
is.
good. That's gonna be good. I
The
promise.
Simu gig is gonna be.
Yeah.
We gotta put some work into it, but it's gonna be good. Tomorrow we rehearse his set,
Mm-hmm.
and then afterwards we're focusing on Simu. And we're
Mm.
Nice.
Peak Bobby, sorry.
Big
Little-
Bobby.
Who I want to collaborate with, Victor's dad, Bobby. He was a musician
Yeah.
in the
Back in the
60s,
day.
70s, 80s. But there's a record that came out in the 80s, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh,
70
yeah.
something. Yeah, 76, I think. Yeah,
Song.
yeah.
And that track was crazy.
That
Peak
track was
Bobby,
hard,
that's
yeah.
who we got.
So my dad used to be in a band
Okay.
that used to play in a bar called Bar Sofia back in the 70s, which is
Where was
basically
that?
modern day Sheraton.
Really?
They were
Okay.
like the bar band, the hotel band at
Okay.
Sheraton, like an 11-piece band with some of like the greatest like professionals in the scene back in the day. Like, let's say the saxophonist would be the saxophone teacher in the conservatory. The trumpet guy would
Yeah,
be the
the
trumpet
best of the
teacher.
best.
Literally the best of the best. And my
Yeah.
dad, who like graduated the conservatory with viola, he didn't even like graduate with guitar. And then he just ended up playing with them in that band. And they were a session band and did a lot of studio work for theater and for like artists from like outside the Ostblock or like
Okay.
the East Block.
Yeah.
So there's this. It's actually a Dutch artist song, and I always forget the name. It's like discotheque, but like with a Q, like
Mhm.
discotheque QUE.
Q, like, yeah.
Yes, discotheque que.
Que. Yeah.
Yes. And that's like him and his band. They just bodied that song so well, and they were downright doing funk, just like
Nice.
funk and like super jazzy stuff. And yeah, and then the old man. That's a really sad story, man. The old man like ended up not being able to go on tour in Dubai in
Because they
the
didn't let
early
him.
80s because they didn't let him because of like his family being affiliated with
Yeah.
anti-socialist
Movements
ideologies and
and-
movements and stuff like that. So literally they said you are not going, and that's actually the point of his life when he said I'm not gonna be doing music ever again in my life, and he didn't
Really?
touch a musical instrument until I was maybe until the time he came to play the
Well,
bass
with
for
the
me.
bass,
When I told
yeah.
you earlier, I think he didn't touch a musical instrument from like
Really,
1988 until like that point.
Storyline, man.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
sick.
That's
Yeah.
fucking-
That's
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, man.
That's
Canon
a Canon
event, yeah.
Yeah.
But imagine what is just not to be allowed to travel for work.
Yeah.
And they were like a big band. Like they did touring in like the GDR. They did like a Russia tour for like 300 days. So like crazy money, crazy.
They were the
gigs, man.
Weeknd.
They were,
It's
like,
easier
really,
to say
really
a
crazy.
year. Like
Almost a year, man.
Yeah.
Literally, like the whole year on the road, and you have some breaks in the middle, but like crazy.
Damn.
And then they were supposed to play in some hotel in Dubai in '88, and they said no. And then he literally like, my dad ended up being an immigrant at that point because he took a globe and put his finger on Bulgaria, and then looked on the other side of the globe, and it was New Zealand, and he said that's where I'm going, and he just bounced.
Really?
Yeah, he ran away during communist, like
And-
through Greece, and then got a plane, and then ran away to New
And
Zealand.
he then came back to make you.
He came back to make, not to make
No,
me.
he was made in New Zealand, I believe.
No,
Really?
I was made in Bulgaria, so my okay, we're getting into. I'm gonna put my guy on the spot.
That's family
He had-
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
No, no,
Go
it's
on.
interesting.
Go on.
He had a wife and a child in New Zealand, which ended up going pretty south. And then it was a Bulgarian woman
Okay.
that he was there with
In New Zealand.
in New Zealand, in Auckland. Yeah.
He's a patriot.
And then he came back to Bulgaria to figure out something, probably his passport documentation.
Mm-hmm.
And then met my mom on a story that I'm not gonna put online. This is just too crazy.
Okay.
No one's saying you should.
Nah, carry on.
Carry on,
I'm not
man.
gonna I'm being honest, man. I have a hard time with not being honest. But yeah, and then they started dating, and then 2 years later, I was born. And
Okay.
then he was supposed to come to Bulgaria for just a couple of months, and then
But he
moved.
stayed.
He came back, but he stayed. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Bro.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a proper story.
Yeah, you don't know the half of it, bro. I'm not gonna put my guy on the spot, but oh
Can I
my
just say,
God.
if there's-
Victor's stories are humbling. If you think you've
Yeah.
been through shit or
if
like
there's
seen
anyone
shit,
you need to
Yeah.
get on this podcast, it's Bobby Velinov.
You're
Yo.
gonna see the thing is like he's gonna dick on you so bad.
He's gonna make fun.
He's
of you.
gonna make fun of you the whole time, but he's gonna say some of the craziest shit. He's gonna be like, "You're lying, caps."
So
like,
let's
all
get
the time.
Bobby
Yes,
Velinov.
man, let's get
Yes.
cancelled, man.
Let's
I'm
get
ready,
Bobby
man.
Velinov.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Call him
you
up
Bro,
won't
I
right
know
believe
now.
the story
guys
because
with
when
my
Victor
dad.
told me the
Not
stories,
ready. You guys are fully not ready. Fully
when
not
Victor
ready.
told me the stories, I thought he was making it up. I thought it was, I'm
thought
not
he
gonna
was
lie.
This guy's bullshitting, right?
But then when I went to Bulgaria, I think 3 years ago, and then Bobby told the stories.
And it was like.
Firstly, it's different when you hear a story from someone that goes, "It was 1997." You know,
Like the Russian mob.
You know.
Yeah, straight up.
fuck's sake! I was like, "Bro, Bobby, chill." You know?
Where are the cameras, Bobby? Come on.
Yeah, man, my old man, legend. He's on his shit. He's on his
God
own
bless him,
wavelength. Yeah, God bless him, man.
So yeah, Vladimarkov.
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 What about you, man?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You're a musician as well?
If you could produce for any Bulgarian artist, who would you
Okay,
produce
so
for?
Say Crisco.
In March next year, there's the Crisco concert, the old Crisco, which I'm going to. 'Cause
Yeah?
That's the old Crisco, like Djao Cambiao, Bel Bellissimo.
And
You-
I was scared about fucking saying fuck on this podcast, man.
Man, please, that's my
Biao
childhood.
Cambiao is literally like I'm sniffing white. Like, I like
Carving white,
Like carving. Yeah, I'm carving.
That's the name
white.
of the artist.
Of the,
That's the name
song.
of the song, Carving White.
His name is
Carving
Crisco,
white.
but
yeah.
actually banger song. I have
It's
to be
a
honest. Like,
banger, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I've done some a remix for Attila, which at my highest point in my career, which was 11th grade, he shared on his Facebook.
Hell yeah, bro.
Oh,
And I was
yeah, I
like-
remember that.
I feel a goated rapper actually.
Yeah.
Goated rapper.
Yeah,
man.
he's a ghost
Fucking-
rapper.
Also, really good videographer. Incredible videographer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you seen his movie?
Indirectly, yes.
Insane movie.
Great
Yeah,
movie.
insane
Yeah,
movie.
Great
it's,
movie.
it's a great movie, right? And yeah, from like the traps. Okay, my guilty pleasure is MBT, which
Okay.
I
Stop messing.
Why do I know this?
МБТ, Марсо Боби.
Did you show me?
MBT is not Marsuboy, Башата
Oh,
и
sorry.
Бориската.
Oh, yes.
You might have showed me.
Да.
And I might have liked it.
Murder Boys. Sorry,
But-
man, bad. I'm
Yeah,
getting drunk, man.
But yeah, it's a trap, and it's a how should I say it? Like if you're 13, you would enjoy the texts, and I guess I'm 13 in my mind, and I enjoy the text. Like it's money, women, and drugs, and
Basically, what the guy said out the fucking lawn shark house.
Same thing. And that's my guilty pleasure.
For
and
the
I'm
non-Bulgarians,
okay with
this is what 13-year-old Bulgarians think about. I'm just saying.
Oh no, they know. They know.
they know about it.
Some of us
They know.
Damn.
No, just said 13, Alter.
Yeah, that's the thing I would do. Like it's trap, and it's low class fucking trap. Like they,
Hard.
That's the thing I would do. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Bro, they have some sort of talent.
No,
So, like,
you know what I
so
like
that-
about them? Like it's that confidence with which they sing the.
Yeah, man,
the
they know what
lyrics.
they're doing.
Yeah, like
They're living the life, bro.
Yeah, man.
it's like many artists.
Bob
Like they have
Katabrat.
great texts, but they don't have the confidence to say it like with that. How should I say it?
The charisma.
It's not a charisma. It's like that. They can make you think that they live that life, because I'm
Yeah.
sure they do not live that life. But
I don't know. Like Bob Kata, I would imagine that he's done some shady shit.
yeah, Bob.
Nah,
Kata,
all
yeah.
of them,
Bob Kata
they
does some
have
shady
done
shit,
horrendous
yeah.
stuff, 100%.
Marso.
Marso, no, I don't know about
We don't
that.
get.
We don't know today. But no, there's this one bar, you know, like the Bobby, как го правиш така.
Как добиш долу
It's like Bobby, how do you do it so? How do you like grind drugs with just one hand? And it's like when I translate it, it sounds so stupid, but in Bulgarian it's like bars.
And you were 13?
We're both, I guess, 13 at this point.
No, I think they rose up from the like sun a little bit later. Maybe we were in high school, like
Yeah,
high
we
school,
were in
high school, yeah.
Like
But
16, 17
you know, I
year old,
started
yeah.
listening to them this year.
Really?
I didn't like them before.
So you're
that.
fresh now on this year?
Yeah.
Damn,
I'm like,
bro.
I know their discography,
Damn,
like
bro.
years, everything, songs, albums. What is the album? The text, everything. Like my Spotify
For
at the end of
damn.
the year, it would be like disaster. I
Yeah.
want to show them. To
MBT
anyone.
power.
Yeah. Top 5 songs MBT it would be. Yeah. And what about you?
I'm not a
'Cause-
musician, man.
No, man. We have recorded 2 rap songs with you,
Yeah.
and
Ooh.
Yeah.
they're one is on
I mean,
YouTube. The other one is more on
I have a
Spotify.
verse on one of them.
no,
the
SoundCloud,
other
sorry.
is like basically anti-weed, and it's like a diss track
Hell
towards
yeah.
the weed.
And also to your
Fuck drugs, bro.
to your ex-girlfriend.
Drugs fucking
To your
suck.
ex-girlfriend, there
crazy
was a
work.
part about the ex-girlfriend.
Ah, no, that one must stop. Stop. I'm not gonna shed light on that. But
Kalina.
my dream collaboration would be. He was like really good. Lubokirov.
I was
There's a
thinking
guy-
about that as well, man.
Lubokirov is actually
Bolton,
he's
man.
like
Wow.
what can his genre be classified as?
It's pop.
It's like
Pop.
pop,
Definitely pop,
R&B.
definitely
It's like
pop.
easygoing. He's like basically I call him mum pop. Like all of the mothers.
Dub rock
pop.
and mum pop.
Mum
Yeah.
pop, man. And all of
He's
the
really
moms
good.
love it. My mom
Realistically, good
literally adores
songwriter.
him. She
Good
goes like
songwriter.
to 2 concerts a year. And
Nice.
I want him on the podcast. I don't know how, but if I could collaborate with a musician, if I could have done music, it would be him.
What would you do in the collaboration? Like, would you like
I'll probably
like
fuse
write
something. Like I'll probably get him to rap or do like some sort of
Get him to
metal,
rap.
like
to
like
rap?
fucking
Bro,
scream,
you
like
would be
Crazy, man.
some
famous,
metal
man.
with him, like something preposterous, like something so stupid, but I think it would stop. Like something that could be made as a hit. You know?
Crazy.
Like,
Lubokirov, yeah, rapping.
Come on, man. Lubokirov yapping.
Yapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not only the better term, I guess. Yapping.
That's it.
Crazy.
crazy wild shit, man.
Yeah, okay. So,
What challenges do you face as a group? Like, do you have certain like disagreements a lot or something like that?
sorry, finding the inner pocket. Yeah, okay, go on, guys.
I'm not doing all that.
This
I
is
mean-
actually we're positive on this side.
I mean, considering the fact that like a lot of, first of all, I mean, we are a group, you know, but we're not in a band in that sense.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
we're like primarily we're playing for other artists, and even if we're playing just us, it's Johnny's artist project,
yes.
you know. So I think that somehow makes it easier not to have conflict, because if you are a band in quotations, then everything has to be a bit more you know, like everyone has a say, and I think we also do to a certain extent. But for example, for me, I'm not like, I'm here to play the songs, to play the music. I enjoy that, and that's it. You know, I'm not here to be like, I don't know, I am the keys player and you need to give me a solo in every song. And why didn't you let me have a solo? And
I was the keys player in my band and they just
It's okay,
let
man.
me out.
Is your
like,
band Zippers?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So they were like,
lay out.
I don't think things are working out and I was like, okay guys.
Yeah, not like it worked out crazy for them. No
Yeah.
shame, Pepe. It's okay.
Yeah.
But maybe to add to that, we are also in like a band, like
Yes.
Victor, Andreas, and me.
In Elias's project, it's a band, but like, bro, this is your project.
Yeah.
I mean,
Realistically, like,
You
if
heard it
anybody
first.
can say whatever, like, this to me is Elias's band.
Really?
Like, yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes,
Eddie and Gracious is
100%.
Elias's band, bro. Like, whoever says that's not the case, like,
I think
Okay.
musically, no, I'm not even in this band at all. But if I can say, but I think musically it might be like, you know, let's say initiated by Elias, but
Go for it. Yeah.
Yes,
Say
say
what
y'all,
you
y'all
gonna
have
say.
equal say in everything.
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
not as
for
it's
sure.
not as much of a dictatorship as like my thing in some ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. You know what? Okay.
88.
I think that's the because I've never been in a band since like my high school rock band playing punk rock covers, but I'm not in a band to this day.
Yeah. We're not a band, no.
I believe this is a really good session band project,
Yeah.
but I think I have commitment issues. But besides that, we talk about music.
Oh, come on. How can you say that?
I'm
can't
used
say
to.
that.
You can't say
used
that.
to-
Last
I'm
week,
used
you
to-
can't say that
trusted you,
anymore,
man.
bro.
I'm used to two things: either like being the one that's not at all in charge, you follow the rule, like follow whatever the leader says, or being the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in many ways, these are definitely band guys, and
Yeah.
they're used to like an equal. Even if you end up with saying, you know, doing what I want, the conversation still has to be as if we're a band.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so this was new for me. So when initially when Victor would say something, I was like, "Why are you confronting me?"
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Why is Bulgarian?
It's like, you know, initially
Yeah,
you remember we
yeah.
talked about it obviously,
Like,
but I was like, it's my
What-
project.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What do you
No,
want,
like-
man?
But if I dismissed that, I don't think we would come to where we are right now. You know what I mean? Like I was like I tried my best at that time. To
Yeah.
be, now it's like natural. Obviously now we're homies. But
yeah.
but at that time I was like, I'll let you say what you want to say. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah,
And he'd be like, yeah, I was thinking this makes more sense. And like, thankfully I'm in a place now where I can, if it does make more sense, I want to do that.
Yes.
Mhm.
But it definitely took
Yeah.
a couple years.
But I
Initially
think
was
we're
like,
all
I don't
like
know.
mature enough to be able to like,
Yeah.
if the idea is good,
Yeah.
we're all able to leave our ego on the side and do what serves the song or the music the best.
Mhm.
'Cause
Have
at the
Inner
end of the
Pockets.
day-
First
Yes.
question of the
Purpose.
night. Why is the band called Inner Pockets? This is why. It's like if it serves the music, then fuck it. Then you play what you gotta
Yeah.
play.
You're the
Yeah.
pocket in the music.
Yeah.
Also, there's a group chat called Inner Circle. I think that's where like the inner came from because we had the chat name before we had.
Well, before Inner Circle was Crackheads?
yeah, but that chat's dead. Man.
No, that chat's dead.
that chat's dead as fuck.
Yeah. As soon as it was like more people involved in his band.
True. There was a. Oh, I remember now. We just had so many WhatsApp groups for all the bands, and like sometimes we had to switch out musicians and whatever.
Yeah.
And at some point we had a bigger group with like more singers and whatever else.
Yeah.
Then I made a group with just Andreas and.
Yeah. You got the
Yes.
talent pool, and
Yes.
then you got the
Yeah,
the
so I
actual
made a
group.
group with
The
just
home
them because you were
Yeah.
not available, and I called it the Inner Circle.
Yes.
Oh.
And I was like, you know, we were texting in the Inner
Yes.
Circle, and
And
then
that's the group chat that will
like,
get
what
us
should
in
we call
jail
it? You know,
nowadays,
inner-
man. That's the one that
Ay, ay.
fucking oof. Great memes though. Great memes.
Great memes.
Great
10
memes.
out of 10
I'm
memes.
not
10 out of 10 memes.
not part of this. I'm talking about the WhatsApp group. They're talking about the Instagram. I'm not part of. Anyway.
Yeah, you in Germany use only WhatsApp, which fucking makes me crazy.
What do you?
Viber, bro.
Viber?
Viber?
Yeah.
I use
Bro, I have Viber.
I think
No,
you're
no, no,
outdated,
no,
maybe.
Messenger.
We use
Yeah.
Viber with the
Viber is like for
Viber is for
all
people that make money,
like
man.
official clients, like you want to talk with someone, hit me up on my Viber. Like,
Viber is for people that own
Viber was
businesses.
crazy in 2010 back in the
Yeah.
day. Like actually.
yeah, but we use Messenger like Facebook's Messenger, and to use WhatsApp, which is like, I don't know why is that difference, but yeah.
The only reason I have Viber is because my mom uses it.
I have it with my dad.
I think I have
If
an answer
you-
for the WhatsApp thing.
Yeah.
That's more international, and Berlin got people from all over the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's
low key
right, yeah.
WhatsApp, like my mom uses
Very
WhatsApp.
good.
You know what I mean?
WhatsApp is like iMessages but for Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I explain it that way.
Great.
That's just apple juice.
Yeah,
I promise,
that's
I
apple
promise.
juice.
Bravo.
Yeah. Black Johnny's apple juice.
Yes. This is apple juice from Simeonovo with grapes. 2020.
Simianov's apple
That's a
juices.
fine vintage.
Okay, so I guess we covered most of the things
Yeah.
that we wanted to talk about, and
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about. So yeah, I guess we covered it.
I had no clue.
Me too.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I think we were all hella like. I was trying to keep it cool.
Shout out Rakia, this should go hard.
Shout out,
Shout out Rakia, man. Shout out Kamen Plochev. Kamen
Yeah.
Plochev.
Kamen Plochev, Professor Plochev. Yes,
Okay, you know who that is.
yes. That's my gramps.
Okay,
Anyway.
okay.
Come on.
Professor Coach, yeah, shout out.
And yeah, I was stressed as fuck when I sat down on this chair, but now
Yeah, you even wrote me. You know what he wrote me on Instagram? I'm really excited for today. And I
I
was like,
was,
man,
yeah.
Vic, we're not on a date.
Because I've never done a podcast before, man. Like I was like, I don't know what to expect.
It was cute, man. I was not missing that. It was
Yeah.
cute. I was like, yeah, he's really excited because I didn't know what to expect because I last seen you before 7 years, I guess.
7 years ago, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Did you
I
go to
was
the same school?
like- Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he was
Crazy.
one class higher than me.
Crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for that conversation, which is really entertaining. I hope we will continue that conversation somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thanks for having us.
And yeah, please repeat once again where would you be and where people can find you. So yeah, we give you the platform to expose yourself to the world.
This will have been after the gigs.
Yeah, so I guess like Instagrams and shit.
Yeah,
At family dinner. At family dinner.
Berlin, at Family Dinner Berlin. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Yeah,
At
Family Dinner Berlin,
Berlin.
you'll find all of us. Yeah,
The
we hear.
only people that Family Dinner Berlin follows, facts, is us.
Yes.
So like,
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know.
so like,
Pretty
yeah,
exclusive, pretty
yeah,
exclusive, yeah,
come on, bro.
exclusive.
Like there was a point in life when we were like, maybe we should follow the people we've played with, but
Nah.
fuck that noise, man.
Too basic.
Fuck that noise, dog. That's us, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so
because
What the
like
fuck,
we
the
got
big
enough
three, it's
titles to
just big
fucking
me.
use, yeah.
Yeah. Who is the big three?
The big three. How hard can I name drop? No. I don't
Big
know.
Three of Famden.
Like of
Big three of
artists that
them,
have
yeah.
been featured.
Blaze, you gotta be up there.
Lazy. I was about
Blaze,
to
you
Meron.
gotta be up
Meron,
there. Meron,
Kubram.
Kubram.
Meron.
Shout
Gabriel?
out Meron.
Meron,
Gabriel,
Kubram.
this t-shirt, bro. Gabe. You guys will hear about this guy in fucking 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody in the
Or
world will
sooner.
know
You-
about
you-
this guy.
you- soon.
You know
Everybody
what
will
does
know
he
about
do?
this
What
guy.
does he do? Like?
What's his
He's
name?
a-
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
Gabriel?
I'll hear him.
Don't worry about
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
I'll
it.
back-
You
yeah.
You'll
just
hear
go
about
on Spotify, you'll find the man.
You'll
It's
hear about
okay.
it. In every way, you'll hear about it.
Okay.
You-
Top three for me: Gabriel, Meron, and Blazy. Actually,
And Blaze, yeah.
I
Shout
would,
out.
I would
Big
have
three.
to. I would have to agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Blazy. Check out Blazy.
Ooh.
The ending question.
Yeah,
What's the ending question, man?
in every podcast I have an ending question that I ask all our guests. How do you want to be remembered?
Oh.
Great question.
What do you
Let's
mean?
begin
Like,
with Elias.
Check
I
with
mean,
the
like,
existential
how do you want to be
things.
remembered? Like, I don't know how to explain further. Like,
like
for
once
example,
we're
your legacy.
dead?
Like,
Yeah.
If you're
What is your legacy? What is your legacy?
no, not necessarily. Maybe if you retire from music or something. Like, how do you want? Like, what do you want your legacy to be remembered as?
someone. Does someone have an answer ready?
This is a very
Please
heavy
begin.
Maybe
question.
as
Please begin.
You're on the
individuals
spotlight, man.
or
Yeah.
as
Please
inner
begin.
pockets as a whole.
Oh, okay.
if I can say for Inner Pockets, then I'd say they played the role.
They did the job, yeah.
You know, played the role,
They
got the
did the
job
job.
done,
Actually,
and served a fucking
Serve
higher
the
purpose
music,
or
man,
whatever.
yeah.
Serve the music.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Come
That's
on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Well, just because we talked about parents now, like my dad is like 60 in his 60s now, and he just went back to Bolivia, and he hasn't been active there for. I mean, he's lived in Denmark for 25 years or more, but he organized a gig there, and people showed up, and it was like.
Nice.
So that, I mean, so even though he hasn't been like known there for a long time, it's still somehow he was active in a very sort of decisive moment in that time, and I think that would kind of be nice, no, in Berlin, like to be like when you think back to the 2020s.
People remember
30
Elias.
years from now, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, there was Inner Pockets, and there was this band Alien Grace, and there's, I mean, who knows what happens? Maybe it'll be bigger than that, you know, but just as a minimum, or it's just something that I thought about. Yeah.
I don't have a deep answer. I'm sorry.
It's fine, man. It's fine. It's fine.
I want to be remembered. I'd say like first thing I can think of right now. is that as someone that was really about the music and not about anything else.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of else. Like
Yeah,
with it,
there's
as
all
artists and as
there
musicians,
is,
there's a lot of things
You're
around
an
it.
idealist.
And not that I'm not. I am sometimes. But I want to be remembered for the music part of it. That's it. Yeah. Let's go.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Let's
It's
go.
good,
I'll
man.
take it.
Yeah.
Man, damn. I think I don't want to say that what he said, but realistically, it's something in common with that, where I just also want to be remembered as the person who never got too up in his own shit and always tried to serve the music and tried to serve the greater purpose, because I really do believe that music is one of art in general, but music in particular, for my case, is one of those things that is so divine and so pure, man. Exactly. There's no reasoning behind why certain things happen in music. Sometimes you just play something and it's a direct correlation from something that came from somewhere, and I just want to be remembered as the guy who managed to combine honesty with, sounds very materialistic, but with success, in the sense of making not necessarily money, but making waves. You know what I mean? Just making something that is remembered by the people. Yeah, not something that will get forgotten in the history books and just let down, but like, you know, like Elias said, kind of like something that will be remembered by the people and something that will make people feel something.
Yeah.
I think that's my goal.
I guess it's about legacy, right?
Yeah.
It's about leaving something behind. Maybe for someone to be, you know, if I could leave anything behind, I would leave behind something for people to be inspired by.
That's actually
Yeah.
very good.
I
answer.
would
Thanks.
want that people either directly or indirectly continue what we are doing now.
Like get inspired by it.
Yeah. Because I think
Yeah, I want to second that.
I think me and Victor
Mhm.
and Elias can really relate to that. Maybe for us it feels like that we're continuing something that was from the past. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would either want my kids, or I don't know, some person that came to one of our gigs, or some person that listened to a record, to just be inspired to make music, to make art.
Yeah.
That's I think that's what I would like.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
A bunch of shout outs on different podcasts.
Yeah, shout out everybody, man.
That's what I lean back to when I'm not sure what the fuck I'm doing. Sorry, like, because like at the end of the day, we are living in Europe. We have okay lives, all of us. There's not a lot to complain about, and sometimes you're like, what am I doing? Like, there's so much else I could do. At least that's what I feel like sometimes. But me personally, if there's like one kid in India, shout out India for the 5th time, can look at this and be like, yo, I can do this for the first time, and it don't matter if my parents have done it or whatever else. Like, I've done what I had to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You never know.
Absolutely.
Maybe that person is gonna become the next Beyonce.
You don't even need to know.
You know?
Realistically,
Yeah.
no,
Preach, man, preach.
really, you
That's
don't
it.
need to know, man. It's
That's
about something that's greater than like recognition, man.
Yeah.
It's really about just keeping the ball rolling, man. Like, music has been a thing and a substantial part of society for thousands of years, with an undescribable reason.
Yeah.
There's no one specific reason that you can put your finger on. Why do people make music? Why is it a thing that motivates you to have fun and to be happy?
To hear sounds, like
To hear sounds
make
and to make you feel certain things.
Yeah, rhythms and everything.
And to want to reproduce that or even express your own self. I feel like that, because it's just a different type of expression, man. It requires a certain type of vulnerability and a certain type of honesty that words sometimes are too intense to use.
Yeah.
It really gives you the opportunity to just be honest and vulnerable in a way that I believe none of the other arts can do. Maybe visual arts also have the opportunity to do it, but then it's very much about personal interpretation.
But
Music
it's different.
Music just makes you feel, man.
Yeah.
It just makes you feel shit.
I
I gotta
think we
take
can
a
live
piss,
with
boys.
it.
I don't know where the
That's
fucking bathroom is
great,
in this
guys.
fucking
That's
bitch, but I
great,
gotta
guys.
take a
Thank you
piss
for
for fucking
everything.
hours, man.
Barlog in our pockets.
In our
Family
pockets.
dinner Berlin.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
We
man.
did great, guys.
Alhamdulillah.
Kapow.
I stuck with the la actually. But
Oh man.
nice.
Yeah.